Remember to turn on every other bit of audio except me.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
There we go.
So hopefully this will work better. I have a new microphone stand, so yes. And Nadine has arrived. Yay! So now we will see captions from Nadine.
Now I'll be a functioning part of this.
Now you're
Yes.
real. Yes.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
The awkward moment where this whole time I've just been drinking the wine out of the bottle and I'm like, oh, now I have to have standards because other people can see me, and then realize, no, I have a brand. This is it.
You have a brand. Standards aren't a part of that.
No, absolutely not.
All right then. So, I apologize, by the way, Nadine. I was having a fit of brilliance. Wrote up a very clever message to send to you with all of the things you could exposit for the show today, and then didn't press the send button. So,
If you want to press send button now, I have very good peripheral vision, so just go for it.
Just make it up until he says no.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The great thing is we don't know what's
do that.
on.
I will. I'm going to add some law that should not be law.
So we're going to do a little bit of flailing in the background here, or possibly in the foreground,
or in the foreground.
Yet another day.
You know, if you've watched the show before, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, we don't need to tell you. They'll be flailing.
That clip, by the way, that you linked was just gorgeous. I giggled so many times. The Nadine moment was just brilliant.
Don't like mosquitoes.
Oh,
I have one. I have a bite right here.
Oh,
That's
no.
how much I don't like mosquitoes.
Gotcha. All right.
So if it hadn't bitten you, you'd like them?
Yes. That's how it works. Yes.
You got bitten once and was like, never again.
I got bitten 6 times, Sammy. 6.
I was just going to say.
I was there for 2 minutes.
Mosquitoes.
I'm a feast. I'm a 5-course buffet.
Just we don't need to hear about your personal life. Thank you.
Wow, you got there before I did.
Step up your
I
game.
was on my way.
It dulls the reflexes.
I was on my way.
I took advantage of the fact you were trying to figure out what you wanted more, the wine bottle or the quip. So
Yeah, look, that's
Good to know I'm
not
second
wrong.
to wine. That's fine.
Look, if you have to be second to anything.
Yeah, I suppose, So
The wine is in the room. That's kind of the priority level. It's like what's in the room with me, and then we move out from that. I'm going to pour it into a glass because it's just unwieldy now.
Mm-hmm. So, given that absolutely fancy clip, so how about we start with Rineshi giving us a recollection of recent events?
Yes.
After 2 weeks, go for it. Have fun.
Yeah. And because it has been 2 weeks, by the way, if folks need a hand with the what the heck, let me know.
Okay, so this is going back a little bit, but am I doing it as Rineshi or am I doing it as me?
Rineshi, we do this
Okay.
sort of this little bit we try to do a bit of it as a tongue-in-cheek diary room format, right?
Gotcha. Well, in that case, then my sister and I, we showed the useless sods around for a little bit. We got them some quite literally rose-tinted glasses so that they could see, essentially. We took them to all the good haunts. We went to the waterfall, the pub. Honestly, that's really all you need to go to. And then we went on our intrepid adventure, and none of them died so far, which is great. It's actually exceeded my expectations.
It hasn't been a day yet. It hasn't been a full 24-hour period.
It hasn't. It hasn't.
The fact that you're asking that, you're saying that is concerning.
You should be. Get out of the room.
Sorry. Okay.
I spoke to Alexandria a little bit, and she essentially told me that there is a entity in her head that gives her powers, and it sings a lot, and it was very warm and welcoming, don't get me wrong, but concerning, to say the least. And then we took another rest, and then we got to the place that I very much know the name of, because I remember. Great wooden walls.
Fickle Waters.
10 out of 10 wooden fences.
The place is called Fickle Waters.
Fickle waters.
Yes.
Just like my mind. Or as I like to call it, blood-sucking mosquito land. And then we took a little rest and we saw a bastard. So I guess now I have to sort that out.
Is that the technical term?
All right.
Blood-sucking bastard.
Yes.
There you go. A little bit better.
A larger version of a mosquito, yeah.
Yeah.
Chevalier.
Sorry, I'm.
Rapidly scribbling
Typing.
notes, yes? What did we do last week?
No, quipping in chat. It's much more important.
Okay, fair enough, yes.
Mosquitoes is hard to spell.
It is.
Mosquito.
Those. Wow.
Yeah.
Same brain.
Why do your characters not get on again?
Because
Right,
we
same.
get on,
Okay,
and it's
exactly.
not okay. Can't have both.
God, it has been less in-game time, less than a day in-game.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So the catch is that for you it has been a very, very long day because
Yes.
again the time it's literally would be the equivalent of me suddenly teleporting to Australia and then trying to pick up a normal day, right? Or the inverse for you folks. But for me it's bright and early in the morning. You know, you show up here, you've got a 12-hour day ahead of you. You've already done a 12-hour day. So yes, this is sort of the longest day in history for you lot.
You can have you get to have a 2-hour nap. Deal with it. 20-minute rest stop. Right. Character voice. We arrived in the Underworld to make our way, well, to at least begin our journey to Dusseldorf. There was some initial tension with our Waywalker guides, but I believe that is beginning to resolve itself once, well, a simple matter of understanding the other person's perspective, though that is never actually a simple matter. But the journey has begun as well as can be hoped until we stopped at a waypoint. And as we were getting some food, we discovered that there were some, was it one or a group of?
So far, Renamala has only suggested there is one.
Renamala has noticed Velbladran, one of these, well, just so described illusionist vampire-like creatures. So, well, that's going to cause a problem. That hopefully is easily resolved.
Okay. Alexandre, please.
It's time. Okay, so I've been holding on to this for about 2 weeks. I just want you to know I worked very hard to get them. So
You really didn't.
it worked so hard.
That is fabulous. That is absolutely fabulous, Chantel.
I am all about the accessories. So
I feel that. I so feel that.
mhm, yes. Okay, so La Chanson is actively calling me to it, which I didn't think was I'm confused because I thought that I was being sent to somewhere. I didn't think I was being called to somewhere. And they're surprisingly different things. Renee, she has kind of made me think about things a little bit differently. And I'm glad you understand. I'm confused. And I don't like being confused. But more than that, I don't like the idea that we're going to have to fight a Velbladran.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. And Jordi LaForge. I mean, Spider.
I'm suffering for this bit. This hurts.
Isn't that canon in Star Trek as well?
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
Yeah. In Next Generation, you find out that he actually suffers pain because of the way the implants work.
Oh, interesting.
So he's either blind or it hurts. Those are his options. So he just puts up with the pain.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Anyway, my glasses clearly don't fit as well as Alexandre's.
Need a better supplier.
We got them from literally the same person.
You need better PR.
Well, yes, if I recall correctly, we have begun our journey through the Underveld towards Dusseldorf, and we stopped at a lovely little inn where I learnt a game. Oh, goodness. Where are my notes? Reneshi taught me a game. Do you remember the name of it, Reneshi?
Raponimo.
Raponimo. I was like,
That's
I'm
right.
stuck on dominoes, not gonna lie.
Reneshi taught me a lovely little game called Raponimo, and I was just about to fleece her sister before we found out that there was a blood-sucking illusionist vampire demon in the inn with us, and that we were going to have to handle that situation before I could relieve her of her coin purse.
Actually, that's another thing. With the Velbadran, are they actually like because I can't remember if they're like actually like a subtype of vampire or if it's like illusionist vampire was just an easy shorthand.
You don't know. You've never asked that question in character.
Oh, good. If I don't know because I don't know, that's fine. But if I don't know because I can't remember, that's different.
Just real quick shout out to Artemis Wren and who has just joined us as well? Lore Masters LLC. Thank you very much for joining us. Yes, very much appreciate that. Hello. All right.
Hello.
So just presume that for the next minute or so of monologuing that nothing that Mala says is surprising to Reneshi. All right. It's just going to be easier to do it that way. If Nadine, you have specific questions, go ahead and shout them out, and I'll fill them in because this is all stuff you would know. You've never, and I just want to clarify something. Your sister sort of fibbed. You've actually never hunted one of these things before. You've been out with her on a few expeditions.
As much.
She's warned you about them. She's explained to you what to look for and how. It's a bit of a trick. But you've never actually dealt with one. But you've heard all kinds of stories from your sisters. So when when Mala told this bunch that you two are an accomplished group of hunters of these things, what she really meant was she is.
I was really concerned for a moment that you're going to say, your sister lied. Neither of you have ever fought these things.
In fact, you don't even know if it's necessarily this.
It's just like,
What's a Velbladran? She made it up. She thought it would be fun, and now she has to follow through with it.
actually just another Ebon Elf house
Yeah.
that they just
Now
don't like. They've just made up these stories about.
Yeah, we just murdered them
Now
on
we're just
site
gonna-
with a good excuse, yes. So Renamala has pointed out, if you, I'm just going to pop to the map really fast. This up here, I think it's this.
Just saying, I still can't see anything on this map.
You still can't see anything on this map. Oh,
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
think
neither
we
can
have
I.
tokens with
okay.
vision.
I know why. It's because I created your tokens, but you weren't logged in, so I hadn't actually assigned them to people. One sec.
Oh.
Please give token.
Yeah,
Please make see
assign
now.
token. Okay, so just give me a sec here. Yeah, I do apologize. This is just going to take me just a brief moment. Huh? What did I do?
Oh no, I don't like that noise.
Oh no, I'm just being.
To be fair, I wake up making that noise.
Huh?
Huh?
Why am I here?
Again?
Yeah.
Every day.
Why do you
Yeah.
do this?
Why does this keep happening?
Mm,
Morning again.
Why you do this?
Had an arrangement. You made a deal.
We talked about
Tell me you're a
this.
millennial without telling me you're a millennial.
Oof. Ouch. Ouch.
Sold my soul for this.
Configure permissions. All right. Chantel is owner.
Hello.
All players are observer. It won't take very long.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
I see things now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Chevalier.
You don't get to. Just
I see everyone's names bouncing around like.
Yeah, that is your mouse pointers.
Oh,
That's your mouse pointers.
it's too much information.
Can you turn
It's
your
like when
camera?
I've watched streamers with like those glasses on that like register where their eye is looking, like while they're
That's
playing
stressful.
games.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
I don't
Too
want to be
much
judged
input.
like that.
No, I look at far too many things.
the one time I have found that really interesting was watching a chess tournament, and so like you could sort of see what they were thinking.
Yeah, you can see what they were focusing on. Yeah.
Mm.
We use it in psych research for
Yeah, that's
exactly that
nice.
purpose, to understand what people are thinking and how long they spend looking at certain things before making any decisions.
Well, I can't wait to introduce to you my one, which is motion sickness simulator, because I can't concentrate on anything for more than 12 seconds.
Oh, I don't. No. I simply
about
don't.
like a game you were streaming
No,
that
just
is like, yeah, playing motion sickness simulator. I'm like, why? Why are you doing that?
All right.
Why not?
Mhm.
Why not?
Can everyone see now?
yes.
No,
I simply
No.
cannot.
I can see some stuff, but like, it's like it looks
I still see the token. I just still see the
like
people's
if I
names
zoom-
bouncing around. That's it.
if I zoom out, there's stuff, but it's very blurry.
Oh,
I
can't
have
see
everything and it's
anything but
beautiful.
black.
We can continue now. I'm fine.
Okay, so Chantal can see. Yes.
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right.
It's great.
All right.
Thank you.
Sam.
I mean, I can look at the stream. There's a bit of a delay, but
Okay, yeah, but the point is, I need you. It'd be just going to be easier if you can tell me where your token's going to be. So you can't see in Foundry.
if I zoom out, there's a map and there's a bunch of blurry stuff, but there's also a big black rectangle of where everyone's mouse pointer is.
Yeah, so a lot of the map is going to be blacked out because it's dark outside and there are walls between you and it. The question is whether or not you can see your token and the other characters around you, which is over here.
No.
Okay, just let me check here.
I don't know what
I don't
section
even see
of the map I would want to be focusing on, and the parts that I can see look like I'm seeing them through frosted glass.
Frosted glass. Okay,
It's
then there's
very
something.
blurry.
What are you using for a web browser? Out of curiosity.
I mean,
Chrome.
Okay, that'd be
so am I.
All right, no, that should be fine.
Yeah. Do you have what are your settings on?
I don't know if you did something, but now I see things.
I can now see bright colors.
All right.
I can see.
Yeah, if I zoom in, I can now see the things.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So the catch is the map is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. The map is huge, but we don't need all of it.
Yeah, it's just the area that you're in is so yes, you will need to zoom in some. Just checking here, making sure everyone's tokens are right.
I can sort of see things, but it's like it looks like it's got like the.
If
like
I'm
fog,
sitting
the fog over it or
opposite-
something.
Well, yes, that's because the lighting
Alexandria.
the lighting is very is yes, there is sort of a very fuzzy quality to the air. It is both humid and the lighting is very soft and diffused because it is the light sources is not fire or anything particularly bright. It is the crystals on the table or the plants themselves.
I don't see like any light source. It looks like everything's got like that fog of war effect.
Oh, weird. Okay, hang on.
Fog of war.
Whatever
Does it
you
look-
did for me, it
Hashtag
worked.
gamer.
I can see
Does
things.
it look
I can move
like
my token.
this?
Like if it's
This is
supposed
what
to look
I'm-
like it does on the stream,
Yeah.
it does
This
not.
is
look
what
like
I'm
that.
seeing.
That does not. It looks like that room with all the lights turned off.
That's okay. So that's bizarre. All right. We may just keep going anyway because I don't want to spend too much time on this. Yeah, you've got vision. I'm gonna uncheck this and.
If you go into the core settings, what have you got set up there, Sam? Because it might be that you turn things down or turn things up.
All right.
I don't know what I would need to fix in your core settings.
My maximum frame rate set to 20.
Yep.
I don't have the first two boxes ticked, but I have all four of the last boxes ticked.
Wait, what?
Core settings?
You don't have the first box ticked, but the last four do?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Then that's what I have.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So I apologize, Sam. We'll figure it out later. I don't want to take up too much more time on it.
No, that's totally fine.
I am kind of puzzled as to what's going on, but yeah. All right. So, does everyone see the token I have over here in the corner?
Yes.
All right. I just pinged
Over
the
here
map
in
so it's visible.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't looking while you were pinging.
I can definitely see the ping.
All right. So
I can. Okay.
yeah. So now keep in mind the place is actually quite busy. There's a bard sitting over by the crystal pit, if you were. It's not a fire pit. It's a crystal pit. Playing a musical instrument. There are people, various tables sitting, chit-chatting, playing the local game. Having a bit of food, that sort of thing. It's a very gregarious atmosphere. There's lots of buzz. There's about 20 other people in here, something like that. and I actually realized who am I missing? I'm missing a token. Chevalier is there. Renamala should be down here. Oh, it's Lucas's token. This is what I don't have on the map. Lucas is there. That's what I was. I knew there was something that didn't look right. Yeah, so Renamala has been sitting and chatting with everybody. And that would be the point where, she draws attention very quietly to the woman sitting over in the corner by herself. And she's actually in the wrong chair. She should be over here. There we go, fixed. So Renamala will very quietly say, don't stare. The last thing we want right now is a fight. But if you glance over your shoulder very carefully, and you just don't focus on her, but maybe focus on one of the empty chairs, you'll notice something odd. Is anyone going to do that, or?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like Spider is adept at looking without looking.
Yes, I think so.
Alexandre less so, but needs must.
Like, so don't look now, and everyone just goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Like
probably
Earl
going to be the
16.
only one that doesn't look. Marla told her not to look. She's not looking.
Mm-hmm. Well, Marla was more trying to avoid the collective everyone. Right. So, yeah, in this case, where she's just said, if you look over now, sort of glance over casually and don't look at her, but focus on an empty space around her, you'll notice something interesting. So, the role in question we are looking for is you can use one of two stats for this.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is going to be perception.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is going to be prescience. You pick.
Well, I do not perceive, so I will press.
I'm the opposite.
Apparently. Oh, wait, hang on.
23.
23. All right. Excellent.
13.
13. Okay.
Flat 20 for me.
Flat 20. Good. All right. And Renishi?
Am I looking?
Oh, it's up
I'm
to
not
you.
looking.
Okay, you're not looking.
Yeah, I wasn't
Okay.
looking. Yeah.
Just double checking. Yeah. I wasn't sure if there'd been a misunderstanding, which is the reason I clarified. All right. So what's Alexandre was a 13 with prescience. You're going to look over and not see anything particularly interesting, other than the woman in question is stunningly attractive. She's done a good job of trying to cover it up. She's got her hood slightly pulled down, kind of huddled around her shoulders, trying to minimize who she is. But you're just left with this sense that, basically that's it. She's a top model in hiding kind of thing.
Alexandra's going to look a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Is it the sort of thing of like, I don't want people to see me, or is it, oh no, you've discovered that I'm attractive?
You've discovered my trap card. But Alexandra will look for a bit longer, mostly because she's attractive, but also partially because like she's trying to hide it, which to Alexandra means, who are you though? Because I do that sometimes. And
she starts taking notes.
Well, no, I do that. So, and I know what that means. So now I want to know who that is.
Chevalier and Spider, who both rolled perception and beat 20, which was the target number. What's Spider's idea of attractive, by the way?
We doing this?
Well, let's just say that that's what you see.
Okay.
So I mean, I'll leave the details up to you, and you know, if you want to chat about it, it's entirely up to you. Everyone sort of knows Alexandria's preferences, so which was the reason I
Listening.
leaned on it. But yeah,
It's probably one of the Lizardmen Chippendale dancers from back in the Lizardman village that we were in.
yeah. And I think that is going to be the first indication that to Spider that there's something wrong.
Yeah, I'm like, excuse me? There's a lizard man in the underworld. Okay.
I think, and like, again, cloak is pulled forward. Everything is being done to minimize, to try and hide that. They're obviously doing a very good job of don't look at me. But you're just left with this sense that that's who's under that cloak.
It's
Yeah.
the coyest looking lizard folk Chippendale dancer you've ever seen.
Wait, but if that's the question that's being posed to Spider, what Chevalier?
Well, this
What?
is the
I'm
interesting problem.
highly interested.
This is the interesting problem for Chevalier. Chevalier has no equivalent to I think what's going to be very odd to Chevalier, and it's going to be the immediate hint. And by the way, as soon as you focus on this person, if you have that moment of, oh my gosh, just because of how attractive they are, you're immediately back to looking at the very attractive, at the Ebon Elf traveler woman, who is obviously a high-class merchant. But it's when you kind of don't really focus on that person that you see this idealized image. I think Chevalier is literally going to see a Praetorian who's hiding themselves in the corner, trying to not be seen.
Oh, that's exciting.
And again, as soon as you go, what? Because that is almost automatically going to be most people's reaction when you see something that compelling, is to focus on them. Then you get, no, it's just an Ebon Elf, right? Yeah, she's got good makeup and a good skincare program because she's clearly a as a merchant she's upper class. But it's when you look at the chair beside her or focus on the crystal at her table that you suddenly start seeing this idealized image at the corner of your vision.
Is this the same table that Reneshi went and had a chat?
No,
with
that
them?
was over to the. If you take a look at where the doors are leading out, there's a table with a green crystal on it. That's where those three are sitting.
Right. Cool.
And I just realized there's a mistake here. Oops. So yeah. And I think Renamala is going to be kind of smiling slightly at everyone's collective reactions as you have the moment, right? Yeah, that, she says. So...
What?
Let me guess. Everyone was seeing someone incredibly interesting, curious, or attractive as long as they didn't look directly at her.
She's just attractive.
Not the description I would use, but... Sure.
Intriguing. How about we use that phrase? Intriguing or compelling. Does that fit, she says?
Yes.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, that is what a Velbadran does. Now, they don't even actually have their power turned on. That's just a casual side effect of their ability to warp reality. Remember when I mentioned a meat trap? That's sort of what I'm talking about.
So their entire existence is a meat trap.
Yeah. So here's the problem. As long as it's, I don't know if it's a she, an it, or whatever. As long as it is of the opinion it's undiscovered, everyone is fine. If it decides that it's in danger, it will summarily start killing people at a rate which is breathtaking to see. It literally heals by killing everything around it. And simply being near it will kill you.
What?
So why is it here?
So the reason it's sitting in a corner, I'm guessing, is because no one's gone to bed yet. See, oh,
I'm sorry.
oh, and then there's another problem. There's usually two of them, so there's another one in the room somewhere.
Alexandria immediately starts looking for another hot chick somewhere. Immediately.
So, yeah. So, these things are predators, she says. I mean, they're literally just looking for a meal, and a place like this, however it got in here, represents a pretty substantial banquet, particularly if everyone dozes off to sleep and it gets to start doing the rounds.
So it's here for the reason why we're here.
Were you planning a mass murder, Alexandre?
You never know, Spider. I was here for a meal. And so is she.
Yeah, the difference, I think, Runamala will say, is that your meal will leave survivors.
Well, I mean, it depends on what we're eating. I don't actually know what that is.
I think it's worm flesh.
I don't actually want to know what it is I'm eating.
I'm not sure how to ask this, like in character, but their like ability to like warp perception, I guess, is that like mechanically like a boon or a bane?
Yeah. What I'm just so when they are actually attacking, if you will, it is actually it's a blend of phantasm and another ability. So right now they're just editing. It's just, but because they are, in their case, they have such a high power level, they've just I've decided to make it to borrow a nick out of something from the champions rule system, which is that essentially they can be detected by their own power level, for lack of a better way of putting it. It's just
That was the next question. If there was like a
so yes
way of knowing what roughly the power level is.
Yeah.
The answer is high.
Yeah. So the short version is yes. You could for if someone wanted to mechanically use nullify, you could turn the ability off. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, that was the reason I ask, is because there's nullifies to get rid of boons, and then there's another one to get rid of banes.
Yeah. So the bane
Like,
it is actually a pair of banes that are
there's a slight difference between those two abilities.
Yeah,
and
no, it is technically
I've just hit the power level for that to matter.
Yes.
So
it is technically the phantasm bane and something else.
Which means it's not working the way I wanted it to be. I didn't expect it to be a boon, but I wanted it to be a boon. Because nullify is slightly better than restoration.
Yes.
It's fine.
So the catch is, Renamala will say very quietly, and she's doing her best to, just sort of chit chat while she's having, nibbling on food and having a drink. And for anyone not paying much attention to the conversation at the table, you guys could be discussing, couldn't be discussing the weather. There is no weather down here. Well, that's not true either, but you know what I mean.
Discussing the lack of weather.
Yeah, exactly. In this particular case, it's more a matter of that, she's doing her best not to look like, oh my God, there's a monster in the room. She says,
you say they drain people. What do they drain specifically?
Your very living life essence.
What?
Yeah, the whole blood drinker thing is a misnomer, really. That it's a name that was, when they were first encountered, that was sort of the name that was given to them. But research progress, all that good stuff. It turns out that's not actually they're not actually drinking blood per se. No, that would be actually a lot easier to deal with. They'd have to lay their hands on you for that. No, this is literally pulling the very ability for you to continue breathing, thinking, etc., out of your body and using it to fuel themselves for another day.
And these are their own species.
Yes.
Not. Okay.
So if they just do it by existing, how do you stop it?
You kill them as quickly as possible. So what we have to do at this point, she says, is figure out where the other one in the room is, and then have the ever so charming spider convince one of them to go for a walk out of here. Well, sorry, Spider, to volunteer you, but bluntly, you're going to be you're the one who's the best talker of the lot of us.
Excuse me?
She means deception.
Oh.
Renimal is going to look.
You are muted.
I am?
Jamie is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I say, and how do I stop it from killing me the moment we're out of sight of?
Oh, that's simple. We're going to, we're all going to collectively have wandered off at various points in time and met outside over by the stable, and you'll drag them over there, and then we're going to puppy pile them as quickly as possible.
Okay. Right.
It's here's the problem. She kind of looks around at all of the other people in here. If we start fighting with that thing in here, there's going to be a lot of bystander casualties. And I know what I'm asking you to do is absolutely is frightening and dangerous. I get it. But at the point it's already sitting in the room with us, we have to get it out of here, or these people are going to die one way or another.
I understand. The stables, then.
Yeah. So, if you just really quickly zoom out on the map, I'll pop up for everyone else's view. Map table. And we'll zoom out here a bit. Oops. There we go. So what it is you have this river that runs, well, it's 3 or 4 meters wide, 10, 15 feet wide. And up here is a bridge which runs across, right? And then over here is the stables. So there is also, by the way, a skywalk as you were. Both of these buildings here and here are 2 stories tall. And there is a skywalk, if you will, that runs between this building from about here to over here, over the river. Gosh, yes. Yeah, Chantal totally agreed with you. Yeah, don't get me started. So that is the idea. So what Renimal is proposing is that Spider convince whoever whatever that is to go for a walk with them over around here and then basically ambush them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Michelle is going to say the obvious. Just because Renamala thinks this is a good plan does not mean it is a good plan. If the
Oh no, this is a bad plan.
If the I'm just going to say, if the
Awful.
remainder of the group have got a better idea, go ahead and propose it.
Oh no, Alexandria doesn't have a better idea. She just thinks this is an awful one.
When you said that there's,
This is like a pretty
how
classic.
busy is the place?
There's about 20 odd people in here.
Right. In roughly how many groups?
Let's see here. We've got 1, 2, 3. I'm just counting tables really quickly because naturally I can't remember what it is I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There are 14 tables. There's, most of the tables have got 2 or 3 people at them.
Right. Yeah.
This is a busy spot because it has a reputation for being well fortified, well protected. And there's a stables. There's there's a geothermal here where they can do steamed bread. Everything lines up beautifully here, which is why this place is so popular as a rest stop. And you're a couple of days out. You're a day or so out from I can't remember the name of the place. From Marshall, right? And you're a couple of days out on the other side from Cruiseroods. So it's a very pleasant spot to stop if you're already a little bit tired on the road. So yeah, it's just busy.
Renamala, if we send Spider out with that one, how will we know that the other one definitely saw? And how will we know that that's definitely the other one and not just someone else?
Before we do anything, we have to find the other one.
Alexandria, you called it she, and the rather handsome lizard folk that I see would not be described as a she. I think we can probably guess by the fact that we're seeing different things.
So you want to go around the room and just say what we see?
It's not the worst idea.
No, there's 2 ways to do it, says Renamala. That is if you can very carefully look around and chat with and chat and compare notes, that'll do it every time. The other thing is, as I say, it's that moment that you've all just experienced where if you're looking at them directly, you see something very normal, and then it's when you catch it at the edge of your eye that you see something very attractive. That's the meat trap effect.
Did Alexandria see that? Or did Alexandria just see?
So, like I say, when you're looking directly at the person, you see an ebon elf.
Right. So because she's been told about it, she knows.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's just that when you're not looking at her, that you're suddenly looking at this top, at this top model at the edge of your vision. But then again, like I say, it's this disconnect of when you're specifically staring at them, they look very keep to themselves. Like I say, good skincare, good dental, but nothing particularly astounding beyond that. Yeah, very typical upper class merchant. But it's like I say, when you're looking at the empty chair beside them or the crystal on their table, that you have got, at the peripheral edge of your vision shows you this idealized attractiveness or this idealized question.
Given that Chevalier and Spider see something like quite different from what is likely there, are we able to sort of try and like surreptitiously glance around the room to sort of just to see a moment of just like that shouldn't be there?
Yeah, yes. I mean, I think for Chevalier, for Alexandria, seeing an attractive woman in the room is well, she's surrounded by ebon elves. They all seem to have a good dental and good skincare. But almost by definition, if they're a woman traveling, they're a woman of power who gives a damn about what they look like, and so they do look good. It's just sort of it's the culture, right? It's Italian red politics. They can look good, so they do look good as a method of just establishing the fact that they've got money to spend on that sort of thing.
I'm sorry. What? When did? How is that different from millennials?
See, if I was that rich and that powerful, I wouldn't wake up every day going, again?
No, you wake up every day going, again!
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Alexandri's been here. Alexandri said this thing. Do you know how hard I have to work to look this good? That's like, again?
The Dolly Parton.
That 7-step skincare regime again?
So sorry, you said that. All I could remember is Dolly Parton's famous quote. I just loved it. Dolly Parton very, very famously said, "It costs a lot of money and takes a lot of work to look this cheap."
She's right. It's really hard
I adore her. I really do.
to look cheap. It's a lot of work. Thank you, Dolly.
So, but I mean, for Chevalier and Spider, given how just out of place what they're seeing is, I think, yes, that would be a very quick way to go, that ain't right. Particularly Chevalier. I mean, what would the odds of there being, 3 Praetorian in one room, right?
Right.
Now waiting for the moment to be like, you see another Praetorian. It doesn't go away. Good. More questions.
I'm ready for the point at which another Praetorian's like, no, you're just a meat trap.
Spider-Man pointing at self meme.
All right.
Wait, the meat trap was inside me all along.
Wait.
Oh,
no.
God.
I'm not going there. I'm no, Michelle, no.
No. All right.
Anyway.
We're all there.
Oh, boy.
Hanamala, I have another question because I'm full of questions today. Why not?
Today, yeah.
Shut up, Spider.
That was me.
Do they respond to meat traps?
I think Renamol is going to get a very puzzled look on her face. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, I mean, they're here for a meal. What if a meal just presented itself?
Well, that was sort of...
Plan.
Is that not a meat trap?
Renamol is going to try... It is going to get that slightly awkward, uncomfortable look. That was sort of what I was doing with Spider, but I suppose when you phrase it that way...
I'm the bait, you're the switch.
What?
And
I'm sorry, Spider, she says.
it's all right. I know the part well enough.
Well, yeah. I sort of presume that was the case. And just so it's said, I don't want you to come to harm. I really don't. I'm just want everyone else in this room to come to harm even less.
Not sure that was a compliment, mate, but let's find the other one and then we can set it up.
Sure. Given the fact that you folks sort of have semi-unlimited time, it's still, quote, early in the evening, and Renamala's assertion is basically that these things are literally waiting for everyone to head off to their rooms and doze off so that these things can start wandering around doing whatever it is they do. You are able, without any rolls required, to actually pin down the next one, which is sitting literally at the other side of the bar. And I'll drop that token in now. That's over here. It's going to take Chevalier actually having gotten up and walked around a little bit, possibly gone to the bar to go get a pitcher of drinks or whatever, because unfortunately by line of sight, the quote the bonfire, if you will, the bonfire of crystals is physically in the way. So yeah, so we're going to say that it's going to take about 10 minutes or so of you folks being very, trying to act like you're not doing the Spanish Inquisition on everybody here. If only because dragging that big chair around would be awkward. And
Give them the comfort chair.
Alexandre looks at Reneshi.
Mm-hmm.
Do they sense magic?
Reneshi's gonna want to answer.
Go ahead.
And then look at Mala.
Renamal is going to get a very, again, that slightly tee look on her faces. Well, I know that when I hurl fire at them, they notice that.
But before you throw it, do they know it's there?
Well, usually there's not a lot of time between A and B.
I suppose it's more of a... If they haven't noticed that we're willing to use magic on them yet.
Renamala chuckles, and we don't leave many survivors to pass on the education.
So what would happen if I just used magic now? Would they sense it?
On them or just in general?
No, in general.
So, Michelle will remind everyone that this place is suffuse with magic.
Okay.
There's all kinds of casual magic being used around here all the time. Your drink mugs show up because they have because essentially the equivalent of a cantrip of has the cantrip Frosty Mug has been cast upon them.
Frosty Mug.
And likewise, the mend is the equivalent of the D&D spell mend has been used to tidy up all the slightly tattered napkins at once a week. There's just the crystals themselves are glowing as they do are actually magical, are actually inherently magic. They're a type of earth magic that glows light. So there's magic all over this place. And even the Ebon Elves themselves are all have all got some kind. You guys are all literally wearing magic glasses, or were until you walked in here, right? It just everyday magic is a thing. And so if they were going to be reacting to every time, I suppose that if you're going into the grand gesture, hand waving, summoning a thunderhead above them, they may notice that. If what it depends what you're calling, what your intention is for the magic, right?
Yeah.
If you're doing the Wizard of Id thing in front of a cauldron, then that's pretty
Okay.
All right. Do we want to take a quick break while you folks try and decide what you want to do next, or you want to keep going for a little bit longer?
I mean, if what comes next is the plan, then maybe now's a good time for the break.
Well, that's why I was asking. It's up to you folks, sort of where we fit in this.
Let's do it. Let's take a break.
All right.
Take a break.
Okay, then. So, yeah, we'll be back in a few minutes, folks. Thank you all for hanging out.
We have homework.
Yes, so...
that I will immediately forget to do. I'm just letting the rest of you know that that's going to happen before we go to the break.
So, like I say, if Renamal has sort of got her idea, there's no guarantee it's the best idea, and if the players can come up with a better one, then that's cool. And like I say, mechanically, you have as much time to sit here and talk about your impending doom as you want. There is no obligation for us to throw dice or start the fight today, because mechanically, you got, sort of in game terms, you have a couple of hours before people are going to start retiring. So if you guys want to go for a walk and look around the place, whatever, just to get a lay of the land, go ahead. All right. There's no obligation to jump right into the fight.
But I mean, if you're gonna,
the experienced vampire hunter says this is what we should do, that's probably what we should do.
oh man, I don't trust her though. I don't trust that. I don't know. I don't think so. No.
And right into that heavy accent right there, so it was really obvious absolutely was not Alexandri.
Definitely not Alexandri saying any of this. No.
No. All right. So yeah, break time it is, and we'll be right back, folks. Okay, we're back. Thank you very much. Hope you guys were enjoying the shenanigans and and clippings. Some great stuff. You've done a fantastic job with all that, by the way, Chantal. Thank you so much.
Shenanigans.
All right. So yeah, thoughts?
I mean, I told you what would happen before we went to break. I warned you that this would happen.
I think I made a suggestion, which I did premise with being, now this is a terrible idea.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm happy to cut to the action from here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Bait, I'll be bait.
You're going to be bait. And also the person that Sam's about to suggest be bait is also going to be bait.
Okay.
But well, I was just like, there's a specific vein. If we need them to be not in this room, there is a specific vein that makes people go away from you.
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah,
I do that all the time.
No, I don't feel like making the life-sucking illusionist monsters afraid is like a great start.
I think the way I phrased it was like, how high do you think their resolve defense is? And unrelated, how bad of an idea do you think casting fear on them is? Because the best part of this plan is if we cast and we don't beat their defense, they know they're rumbled and they go into attack mode.
Oh.
And if we succeed, they go into fight and flight mode.
I mean, I could also cast Provoked and just have them chase me. That sounds like a great idea. Everyone wants that, right? Like we all want that. We're all on the same page for that one. Yeah.
So, what is the obviously Renamala's idea is to pick them off one at a time.
Yes. If we can make it happen.
Right. Am I getting the impression that Chantal's idea or Alexandri's idea is for both she and Spider to drag them both out at the same time? Or did I misunderstand what you were all giggling about just now?
There was no alternative plan.
Okay, all right. No, sorry. For some reason I got the impression from
there was a
Dive
joke
right
about
in.
casting fear on them.
Okay,
So that
okay.
they would
Sorry, I
run
thought
from
the
room.
provoke bit was Okay.
Provoke is if both
could
of
be
them
wrong.
go.
It struck me as a joke.
Just making
Provoke
sure I
is-
understood.
Provoke is basically what Alexandria would do if both of them go at the same time and we need to
Yeah,
run.
got it.
Run.
Okay. So how does Spider intend to go about this?
Well, once the others have left to set up the trap,
Mm-hmm.
and I know exactly where it is I'm taking them to.
Do you folks want to? I was just going to say, do you folks want to go have a look around, physically move your tokens around so you can see what it is with the what's the wheres, or how do you want to do this, or do you just want me to give you guys a flyover? You've sort of gotten a sort of a top level look, but
Yeah, I
Flyover
mean, like
sounds good.
presumably we would have seen the place before, like on the way in. Yeah.
yeah, you saw a bit of it on the way in. Again, it's bloody dark out, right? I mean, there's no sunlight, so you've got an idea. Someone is moving Chevalier's token.
I was seeing if it helped. It didn't.
Okay. Interestingly enough, however, you were able to go straight through the door. Like you.
Well, I tried to move, and it was like, the way you tried to move has gone through some walls and won't work. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go through these door icons and see if that changes things.
Gotcha.
Do
So that's
appreciate the
interesting. So you
Foundry's
can-
like, stop walking into a wall, idiot.
So
No.
literally, you can see where the door icons are, but you can't see anything around you.
Like I can see like, yeah, the door icons come up fine.
Yeah. Just
And I put on like the Discord, like it looks like there's like 2 rectangles with stuff in it that have overlapped, and they seem to be affecting each other. And I don't know why or what that's about.
that's awkward.
Because like there's the main, what I thought was like a sort of like a don't let the players see things rectangle.
Mhm.
But when I zoomed out, it's actually everything in that rectangle that doesn't overlap with the other one. I can see fine.
Oh, weird. Okay, that's very odd. Just
So I can see like
I'm just
a
gonna
wooden
say,
wall and some mushrooms and some smoke.
yeah. Okay, that's really weird. I think what's happening is that I think your browser screwed up the render. So just hit your refresh your browser. Just see if magically it fixes the problem. So okay then. So I will. So just because I think it's very interesting to do it this way, I'm going to ask everyone to drag their tokens over to where it is they want where it is they plan on having this fight. I'm going to move.
Where does Renamala suggest? Because that's where I'm going.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'll move Renamala's token first. Yeah. And we're just going to skip across the river here because there's no reason not to. Renamala is going to actually position herself there.
It did work. Yay. Look at the pretty.
All right. Okay. I should have thought of that to start with, but anyway, there we
Just
are.
turn it off and on again.
Yeah, like in hindsight, sure.
It's always the last thing you try, hey?
Well, yeah, because after that it works. Yeah, then you stop trying.
Do you, though?
Well, most people would. I mean, you can keep trying if you like, but
Thank you.
Alexandria has
It
never
works.
stopped being trying ever.
Incidentally, by
I
the
see.
way, if you have your token selected, you will see what they see. If you unselect your token, usually by drawing a little box on the screen or just re-clicking your token, then you sort of get group vision, which is what everyone can see.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's done that way just so that you basically folks, so that if it's not your turn, you still get to spectate on what's going on around the corner, but then you can actually check lines of sight and stuff by just clicking your token to see what's up.
Alexandria doesn't know what to do. It's just a nice amount of space.
Yeah, now Lucas, by the way, is going to very sternly inform Spider to not be any more brave than necessary, and don't be any more stupid than necessary.
Is Reneshi just sitting in the plants with the mosquito bat things?
Well, yes,
She is
because
becoming one with the mosquitoes.
well, actually, the funny
Power
thing-
to her.
The funny thing about that is because she's actually sitting beside one of the very large ferns, anything that goes near her is getting literally. The trick where you see some lizards and amphibians shoot tongue out to grab thing and reel it in. The very large blue fern that she's sitting beside and the red one are both actively doing the same thing. So she's actually getting left alone there. There are things buzzing over towards her because snack and then.
She knew that. See, she knew that. Smart.
Sometimes
but
I worry.
also
You're
because
thinking with meat traps.
she wants a view of the bridge, but also as soon as they come round,
Yeah.
she's on
I
watch.
think Lucas will position himself around the corner where he is essentially. He's going to position himself over here, and that way, as soon as Renamala starts shooting, he can come charging around the corner to save his brother. I think is his plan. All right.
Gonna move my token so I can see what you're talking about. I say that, but I don't know which button moves the token.
Oh, just so the trick is you can't go out through a wall. You actually have to use the door.
That's right. Oh, that's not the door. That's a window.
Yes. Yes. The windows look like windows. The doors look like doors.
What?
Insane.
This is a role-playing game. I should
Explain again. I am lagging through the wall.
Windows that is doors that don't realize it yet.
Actually,
Need to
the
try
funny thing is
harder.
in Foundry, that is actually how they work. It literally, it's a door with a toggle that says not door.
All right.
I feel like I need those in life, though.
Honestly, that's my
The
gender.
sign.
Yeah, yeah,
Push,
yeah.
pull, not door.
Not door.
It has a toggle and it says not door. That's it.
That's it. That's
the three-stage
that's-
switch.
It's the door because it's
That's
not
the
letting me
gender
go
of
through.
today.
We'll call it locking, but whatever.
Yeah, so the catch is if you try to move through a closed door, it oddly enough won't let you do that either. If you edge clip through a wall, it oddly enough won't do that either. So it actually sort of behaves like they're walls and doors.
What happens if I can't path and I just get stuck?
Also,
constantly?
by the way, your arrow keys work up, down, left, right. So if dragging don't work, use arrow keys and pretend it's a JRPG.
When did Reneshi end up right next to me? I looked away for a second and all of a sudden I turned back and she's right there. The hell? Everything was fine.
Doors.
Reneshi, what are you doing here?
Baby, I'm not even here. I'm a hallucination.
She's the meat trap.
Alexandri is afraid.
I'm not here. You have to wake up. It's time for your exam. You have to wake up. Time for your exam. Also, the first day of school. No, hang on.
That's brutal.
You have to give a speech. And you're wearing your clothes, but nobody else in the room is, and you're confused.
No, that's a different dream. Anyway,
Yeah, it is.
All right. So does anyone have any questions about anything that they're seeing around where they're at?
No. I mean, probably.
Well, like,
No.
yeah, take a moment. Yeah, I mean, you can see what you see, for lack of a better way of putting it.
I
So
can-
if there's
yeah.
anything that's puzzling you, let me know.
No, nothing is
With-
puzzling me.
the stables.
Yeah.
These are doors that, like, if I close them, they're not like
No, they're not
glass or
porcular.
something.
They're not porculi. Those are actual bloody doors.
Yeah.
Right. There are
Bloody. Why are they bloody?
I
actually
closed it really quickly.
Actually, hang on a second. Those are porcular to the south of you. So let me fix that real quick.
I think Alexandri has a question
Yeah, what's that?
that Chantel does not have, which is
Is it a yes/no question that you can ask a deity?
no. It's Chevalier. She said to Puppy Pilot, "What is puppy piling?"
Sam's laughing, not Chevalier.
I can promise you that somewhere Reneshi is going, I feel like I've missed joke opportunity.
Why do I suddenly feel sad and disappointed?
There. So
The plan is to attack all at once,
Okay.
to overwhelm them.
Overwhelm.
that is bloody funny.
I can overwhelm.
You
Hmm?
there's like as they sort of got their going across, it's like, I imagine the timing of Genophia's scry attempt was apparent to you.
Yes.
I don't think she will be able to try again on you so soon after failing. But I don't want to lower the defenses we have put up unless it is necessary. However, if they are able to detect your abilities, that might just be something that we have to accept rather than avoid.
Okay.
Giving the audience a little tour here while you two are chatting, so everyone has a better sense of where everything is.
He also points like to the tables, like, I'm gonna go in there, so there I don't think I can hide out here.
Okay. Alexandre sits.
Monochrome robot looks at the brightly colored fungi and is like, Sam looks at
Probably not.
the floor not built for subtlety. Leaves.
All right. Yeah. So awkward moment where, hey?
Good to go.
Yeah.
On 3, don't die.
So yeah, let's talk about Spider there.
Yeah, I think there's like an appropriate amount of time, like after they've all sort of wandered away, where Spider's sort of just like playing with the Raponimo pieces and takes a deep sigh and goes up to the bar and gets a couple of drinks. And then walks over to the front corner, the first one that we noticed up here.
Yep.
And sort of like sidles up to the table and says, "Mind if I join you?"
All right.
Like offer one of the drinks to.
Yeah. This is where things start to get weird, for lack of a better way of putting it. So could you? So, like I say, as you wander over, modestly, slightly above average looking merchant woman, and conversation starts out that way. Oh yes, please sit. Very kind of you. And then over the next few moments of chit chat, what's going to literally happen is that the elven woman is going to fade out, and you're going to be chatting with the Chippendale dancer. And it's for lack of a better way of putting it, if you hadn't been warned, you wouldn't have noticed. Like, you're not sure at what point one blended into the other, and it's just, yeah. But I think because of Spider's background of dealing with charmers, hucksters, et cetera, I think he's far more conscious. And let's be straight, just because Spider was, was dealing with the underside of society in Shining Capital didn't mean that every decent group of street criminals didn't have at least some vaguely competent caster with them. So magic is something Spider is aware of. It's just. Nadine, thank you.
Caught immediately.
What was the joke? I didn't hear anything.
Nadine
in chat.
Michelle just said, "Let's be straight," and I immediately went, "No,
I will not.
shan't. Simply
Nope.
shan't."
I think you'll find the answer is no.
Oh dear. Thank you for that distraction. So yeah. So what I'm actually going to ask you. This is one of these places where Open Legend sort of feels backwards. Um, because they're going to try and use influence on you, and you just sort of get to sit there while I roll dice at you. And I may complain to Great Mustache about that. I feel like there should be some sort of ability for the players to do an active defense at this stage, as opposed to just getting clubbed with dice. That feels
I
fun.
mean, you'd be the defend action.
Mm.
They all have said so far.
And it
is
would be
hello.
active, yeah, because he knows that it's happening. So it would be an active defend action.
Okay, and what does defend do?
You roll a one of your attributes that like makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You sort of narrate. It's like it's a discussion. It's up to the player to be like, I want to defend, this way, and you
Mhm.
sort of decide. So usually, like for Chevalier, it's like I use might because I just put self in way.
Mm-hmm.
But we could use something else, and you then make a roll. That roll becomes your defense value,
Right.
Yeah.
or
So-
another person's defense value if you're defending someone else.
Okay. So, what is Spider trying to do with this conversation? I don't want to role play. I don't want to role play through 15 minutes of chit chat back and forth to the hey, do you want to leave with me moment.
Oh.
So
Yep, fair enough.
how is Spider approaching this?
I think Spider. I mean, the best way to become interesting to someone is to listen to them, and so I think Spider asks them about what their merchant deal, like what they did, who they are, what's their shtick, what are they selling, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
The exact story that this huckster would have had to prepare. And I mean, like, this is the thing, is like, if you don't question any of the plot holes in someone's backstory, then they feel like they're getting away with something.
Yeah.
And so Spider knows how to like ask the right questions, etc. And as soon as they say what it is that they're dealing in, becomes incredibly interested and like, oh, that actually sounds like a really interesting thing. Do you have stock with you? And probably eventually like tries to convince them to go out to the stables where they can. I don't know what it is they're hucking, whether Spider has to say, actually I have something you should come see, or whether it can be, can I come see what you've got in the stables?
Yeah,
Either
like I
way.
said, yeah. So just for perspective, they are incredibly persuasive and incredibly keen-eyed in terms of their conversation.
Yeah.
They if you it's not a bug, for lack of a better way of putting it. There's a remarkable level of intellect behind this thing. It is not the classic dumb monster. This is very much the Bela Lugosi vampire that has all of the answers, that has all of the smarts.
Yeah. But
you-
Spider is playing the very average victim.
Yeah.
And it's a deception, obviously. Like, I mean, and I assume that's probably what I roll to defend here, is my deception versus their charm.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I'm actually going to say in this case, yeah, they think they're suckering you, but you already know what the game is. So in that case, I think what I'm going to do is I will roll their perception to see if they clue into the fact that you're over eager, if you will. So yeah, just to review now, keeping in mind that I think you have a floor of 15 on this automatically.
Do I?
So, yeah. roll your deception and let's see how well you do. Keep in mind
That's for like recalling knowledge about crime. I don't know that it's.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Keep in mind that the group has 3 legend points.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to ask. Is if there was still some legend points in the pool.
Yep. The group has 3. Lucas has 1, and Alexandria has 1.
Okay. You automatically succeed on any action roll related to your chosen sphere of knowledge with a CR of 16. Yeah, this is not really.
Okay,
fooling a vampire isn't quite like knowing how to do crime.
Okay, no, that's cool.
I'm just checking any of my feats are relevant. Not exactly.
Now, would you prefer I roll before you or after you?
No, either's fine. But I will use one of the legend.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you guys feel? Is one enough? This is pretty important.
Do you?
You could technically use all 3. You could use all
You can use
3
as
of
many
the
as well.
available ones. Yes. Now the catch here, if you will, is that the number of legend points you use also gives you a direct bonus on the roll.
Oh, that's right.
So
you get a plus whatever.
Yeah, so it's +1 for you get an
As
additional
well
+1 for
as-
every legend point you spend. So it's not just that you would be like if you use 2 of them, it's
you
not
get
that
an
you're just rolling
advantage
it.
and a +1.
Yeah, exactly. If you roll 2 of them, it's it's advantage 2 and +2.
Well, I have enough dice to use 2 legend points right here. And I feel like this entire plan falls apart if I fuck it up. So I'm going to use 2 of our available legend points here.
All right,
It
then.
doesn't fall apart, but you become a meal. So
Yeah, when I say it falls apart, I die, and that probably isn't good for me.
Oh, right. Yeah.
See, the first part of the plan was don't die. And immediately.
I was specifically told not to die.
Yeah. Wait, do you become a Velbladran if you
Excellent question. Why not find out?
Well, I mean, if we were told that we would.
First hand? I don't want to find out first hand.
No.
Spider, you do it.
Roll badly, find out. So do you want me to roll first or you?
I'll do it.
No, I will roll first, and
right,
then you can.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the dice cam on, right?
Well, I will turn the dice cam on as soon as you're done rolling. Yeah.
Amazing. Here we go. All right. We got a 12 on the D20. We got a
Nice.
5, a 2, and a 5. Okay, that's a 22. Yep.
22. Fantastic.
No explodies on the dice.
No
With the bonus?
All right.
Oh no, and then +2, so 24.
Nice. That's a very good roll. Yeah, for sure. All right.
Well, no explosions, but we're we're doing what we can.
All right. So we're going to turn the dice cam on here. So there we go. All right. So this thing, its perception is, it has a 5 perception, which gives it 2d6.
Yep.
And then it gets a d20, which is this. So we'll start with the d20 and we'll see where this goes. So that's a natural 20.
Oh.
We're in trouble.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that in a sec.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a 5. So
Brothers, they were fun.
that's a 3. So that's a 28. Let's see what happens on the next d20.
Well, I mean, it's beat the roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a 5. Okay. So right then. This gets awkward.
Yeah. Yeah, it do. That it do.
So it is
But
aware.
before you decide the outcome, Michelle,
Yeah, go ahead.
I would love to invoke my Silver Tongue feat. And once per session, after conversing with an intelligent creature for at least 5 minutes, I'd like to learn a useful secret of the GM's choosing about the creature.
Mm-hmm. Sure. It was let in.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Chantel had that question. Alexandri did not.
Yep. Okay, cool. Good to know.
They were it and its companion were let in
Yeah,
intentionally.
it wouldn't be here if it wasn't let in. Okay. Do I get any sense of who let it in, or that's
That is
beyond
no,
the
just
scope?
that in its
Yeah.
in and of itself is a major reveal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
So I think what's going to happen is that at some point in the conversation, when you get around to the, hey, why don't we go out to the stable and and I can show you my wares.
Hi.
Realistically, that makes less sense.
Buy me
than,
dinner
like,
first.
I don't usually buy wares on the first date.
Yeah.
Bye.
First, it's like,
Yeah.
have you not dealt with a merchant before? Like, no, I don't talk to people.
I think the indication that things haven't gone well is when
The feeling of your life essence draining away.
no
A second date.
I was just gonna say, well, so keep in mind at this point, who Spider is chatting with is a Chippendales dancer, is a lizard folk Chippendales dancer, named Sharog.
Okay.
That
might be
Shagrog?
No. Sharog.
All right.
The
Whatever you
very
say.
attractive, scaly gentleman.
Down on Shaggle Rock.
So yeah, they're going to excuse themselves, say they actually probably going to head up to their room and they need to take care of some paperwork before heading out on the road tomorrow. And I think Spider immediately clues at that moment that that's not the reaction that a predator would be inclined to use. Like, Spider's not a dummy. For, if this thing's an ambush predator, it basically just turned down dinner, a willing dinner.
Yeah. I think he'll try and push his luck a little bit and says, well, if I fetch my saddlebags, I mean, do you have stuff on you that I could look at? Perhaps. I doubt that I'll be up as early as you, and I would love a chance to.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm staying in the top room. It gives you a room number.
Mm-hmm.
Come up. Go grab your saddlebags and meet me up there.
Perfect. All right. It was lovely to meet you.
Be well.
Charming smile.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, like immediately, like walks to the door towards the.
Mm-hmm.
Because you gotta follow through on what you're saying.
Yep.
Heart thundering.
Yep. Okay. So then what?
Yeah, I head straight to the
so,
where we agreed to meet.
Yep. So I think the
Is there a side door down here? Is that
nope.
what that is?
No. There's those are stairwells going up, and that's actually where they went. They're the only way in and out of this place on the ground floor that you can see is the double doors at the front.
So that's not a door where there's like a little door symbol over there.
Oh, what? Oh, sorry, that leads to the kitchen back there.
Oh, I see. Cool.
That's the kitchen.
Well, I'm not going
staff
into the kitchen.
Staff and what have you coming in and out of that. Yeah.
No. I meant this one next to the staircase, on the right.
Oh, yes. My apologies. There is a door there. Oh, that's supposed to be a window. Sorry, that's bad. Again with the I forgot to flip the switch that says not a door.
Honestly, woke up this morning, felt like that.
I wish I could show you this because it's it's just hysterically funny. It literally says not a door. Not a door, and then there's a bop that says perception restrictions none, and that's literally the difference between door with a window is a window.
Until you said like perception restrictions, I was like, no, that's not me. And then you said that, I'm like, oh, now it's me.
Yeah. So I just like walk up over the bridge and past like some of the glowing plants, and I see Reneshi sitting under the fern or whatever.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think the first clue, Renamala is going to be peering around the corner, and obviously has an eyebrow raised when he sees you coming alone.
Yeah.
And you're going to actually see a very peculiar thing. She's going to actually look at your feet for a moment, look away from you for a moment, and then back up at you.
Yeah. That makes sense to me. Yeah. Spider
Wise.
like keeps walking, but like over their shoulder says, "We have a problem," and like walks straight over towards Renamala.
Yep.
I think it caught on to me and it has gone up to its room. I told it I would fetch my bags and then come and see its merchandise.
Oh, good grief.
Are you going to?
Not by myself, I'm not.
I thought you were good at deceiving. What happened?
Well, you're way across the way there, Alexandri, so unless you're going to stroll over for the conversation, yeah.
I thought you
will
were
just
good
yell.
at deceiving. Dumb bitch, Spider.
I just came all the way over here to mock you.
I was fairly certain I had it on the hook, but I think I was thrown off my game a bit when I realized that someone had let it in.
What?
What? Says Renamala.
The pair of them. They were let in.
Oh, bloody hell.
This is a setup. I don't know why or who, but
I think this is the first time you're probably ever going to see an ebon elf turn pale. There's no... I don't have a cultural way of explaining it, but essentially what Renamala is going to express is that from the ebon elf perspective, that's the equivalent of using nerve gas in a hospital. Like, you just do not do this. This is a straight up war crime.
yeah. Yeah. Someone inside that place is proper fucked.
So
now we have 3 problems. A mad
What?
a mad woman and two Velberdran. Wonderful.
What kind of rooms does this place, like when it's like, oh, it's my room upstairs, do they have like individual rooms, or is it like a communal thing? Or
So, yeah, Renamala and Renishi have both been here before, so they can roughly tell you that there's the common room, what they're going to call the tent room, which is a common room that's sort of partitioned with what look to be tents, hence the name. And then there are going to be, because that's actually the preferred way for ebon elves to be it's sort of cultural background. They were a nomadic people originally, and so that sort of style of big space, lots of tents, is sort of their thing. But there are four, or it's either 4 or 6. Renishi can't remember, private rooms. As she puts it, typical Skysider construction. Solid walls, big beds.
did they both go? What happened to the other one? I
You're
can't
muted.
hear you.
Oh,
I'm
we
not
can't hear you.
muted.
Okay,
Now
there
you
are.
now
You're
we can.
back. You're back.
I left at the same time as the one I was talking to. I don't think the other one had moved just yet. Nonetheless, I imagine we're on the clock at this point.
looking over my shoulder, is there one behind me?
Not that you can see.
I would
But
like to
those
make
two
it,
ebon elves are hot.
I would like to make it known that Renee, she's like paying attention to what they're saying, but she is at that corner watching as many entrances as she and exits as she possibly can.
Sure thing. So, I'm actually going to ask you to do a perception check, please. Your target number is going to be a 17.
While Nadine rolls, can Alexandri ask Renamala, what happens if all of your life force is consumed?
You die.
Just
18.
18. Renamala is going to see two. The modern term is kinetic. The way a body moves. You see, remember I mentioned there's that skywalk that went between the second floor of the inn and the barn.
Mm-hmm.
The skywalk is wooden frame, blah blah. There are some windows in it, and there's these nice red torches glowing inside. Crystal torches, very very easy on the spectrum in terms of. So for you, that's very good lighting. What you're going to see is two figures. The only phrasing I can come up with is shamble along the hallway leading towards the barn. It is not an ebon elf kinetic. Is kinesi? I'm using the wrong word. Anyway, it is not a human a human or elven body mechanic in terms of how it's moving across the again, you don't really see in because they're being backlit by the lights inside, but the shape of them and how they're moving is absolutely not normal.
Right.
So that would there, and so from your perspective, the skywalk I think is here-ish. Just to give you an idea. And so so they would be coming across that line.
In that case, she'll kind of throw a chevalier over her shoulder.
And just like pointing up at the thing.
Yeah. Like for you to come over, and then she'll point at it.
What are the dimensions of the skywalk? Roughly.
Just let me double check. I need to go look at the other map. So 1 moment, please.
Marla, if I shoot one of these things, is it going to come down after us, or is it just going to start eating things inside?
Marla or she?
I was asking Renamala, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, she's gonna. This is gonna sound incredibly weird. I hope that it comes after us. It should come after us because what it desperately wants is to not be discovered. Once it gets discovered, its job is a whole lot harder, right? So, if it does what we usually do, she says with an eye roll, it will try and kill us as quickly as possible. It would be 10 feet wide, 10, 20, 10, 20, 30, 40, about 45 feet long, basically the gap from across the two buildings. And it's probably the bottom of it, if you will, is 10, 12 feet in the air. 3 and a bit meters, right?
So I've got she being like, I've seen something up in the walkway area. and got Marla being like, they'll probably come after us as quickly as possible. I got to start moving towards the entrance of the barn and just with my hands towards she, just being like 2 or 1. Then I'm just going to go, I think they're coming now, and I'm going to go as quickly as possible up towards to try and cut them off at the pass, as it were.
Okay. All right, then. So I think probably this is a good time to roll for initiative. Just so we have a little bit of structure.
Oh, so there it is. There's that PTSD right there. I saw it. I saw it happen.
Just so we have some structured time to go with here.
Yep.
Does that happen immediately? Like if I'm moving into the, just so I know where to put my token. Does that
no, it's as of the point you're going to start heading towards, to quote, cut them off at the pass, it's time to roll initiative.
That makes sense. Why do I roll for initiative again?
All right.
22.
All right, so
It's agility based, right?
Yeah, I couldn't remember what my agility dice was.
Yeah, so let's okay, so she rolled a 22.
Not for initiative.
Oh.
It's been a while. Why do I have advantage 2 written underneath
I don't know why.
If you have a weapon or like the gear.
Oh, that's right. The type of weapon
has like the swift tag. You get advantage 2 on your initiative roll. But like that has to be the thing you're using. Like if it's like on a dagger or something, you can quickly draw it and use it.
But yeah, I'm on dagger duty right now.
Okay. So Alexandre, what your initiative, please?
Second, 24.
Wow, nice roll. Okay. Chevalier.
35.
Wow.
Oof.
Chevalier, you don't see them. They're just dust.
Gone.
Intimidator.
Not
when
cyber.
Chevalier wants to move, Chevalier just goes. And
I
there's
was going to say yes.
like divots where he's gouged out parts of the ground.
Yeah, not quite cyberpunk where he moves 5 times before the next person gets to take action. But yeah, Spider.
26.
Awesome rolls, gang. All right.
Where is Chevalier now?
One
on the
second.
map?
We're going to
sorry.
just update the map here. And Spider, and then okay. So the next thing I need to do is roll initiative for the 2 Velbadron. Please hold. Where is my? Oh, wrong. Right, I don't have a button for that. So I need to put the dice cam on, and the Velbadron. So yeah, it's a straight. It's agility. Yeah, D20 plus agility. So that's they're not the swiftest things in the world, fortunately for y'all. So D20 is a 17. That's a good roll, and that's a 2. Right. So one of them's going on a 19, which is the next best thing to too late. And then the next one, that's an 8. I'm so glad I bought these dice. They're so pretty. And that's a 6. So that's a 14. Yeah, you guys go long before they get a chance to think. Yeah. All right. So we'll turn the dice cam off.
I still don't entirely understand where they are.
Yes, so
in relation to us. But...
So hang on a second. I'm going to update the map here in just one moment. I'm actually going to put the map up on the screen for everyone to see just very quickly, so that everyone can get a handle on what is up. Oh, I forgot to roll Lucas. One sec. I need to add Lucas to the list. Please hold. And Lucas, I have his sheet here. Lucas has an agility of a D6. 1d6 agile. Okay. So that's a D20 and a 6. I'm just going to roll that off screen, as it were. 17 and a 2. So Lucas is going on a 19. All right. 19 is Lucas. All right. So let's talk about the map. All right. So what it is, I'm going to actually put their tokens on the map to give you guys to show you the spot they were seen. All right. There was one there and one there because that's roughly where the windows are. So for perspective, that's here. Everyone's
Okay.
Just adjust the map here so we can see a bit better. And zoom out a smidge. Oh no, yeah, there. So yeah, so they are down here, but they're also, like I say, that's a skywalk that runs between the two buildings. Hang on a second here. If I do this. To give you, I'll just sketch it in as it were so you guys can see what it is I'm talking about. Right? So that's that's essentially where it is. It runs from the second floor of the inn to the second floor of the stables.
Okay.
All right. So let me just clean this up so everyone's in the right order.
So it's coming across the skywalk to the stables.
Yes, exactly. All right. Chevalier. What is Chevalier thinking?
Oh, you're muted, Sam.
You're muted, Sam, yeah.
That's why.
So,
That makes sense.
but I laid out my whole plan. Essentially, yeah, he's basically sort of you get that sort of like, I just saw two weird things. They'll probably attack us as quickly as possible. Huh? I can put two and two together and get results. But so he, like I said, he says I think they're coming now, and then he just, neither. I don't think Marla ever saw him armor up, as it were. But you sort of just see him.
She, you mean?
Mm.
Well, I mean either.
Yeah, I don't think Marla.
No, I know she hasn't seen it. I was trying to remember if Marla had.
No.
Oh.
Marla has not.
I was just like, I don't think so.
No.
But
Transformers.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
basically.
essentially,
Chevalier in disguise.
It looks like there's like this like gray viscous liquid, I guess, starts to like polyfiller various parts around his body and form like a more like buttressed, reinforced armor. And then it just sort of hardens into this sort of much more, it's like previously he was, a walking war machine. Now he's like, oh, hello, right, I see that. Uh-huh.
It's what happens when a T-800 bulks
No,
up.
he's a fire truck.
It's what happens when a T-800 bulks up by eating a T-1000.
This all happens.
Yes.
He's just like, he just is immediately just like, and when he gets into more combat mode, he sort of doesn't put as much effort into not looking like his kinetic movement is mechanical. And so there's a degree of just like his turns at the hip and his legs start moving before his body catches up.
Yep.
And he just sort of like, and so he just tears towards the stairs in the stables to try and get up to the next level.
Yeah, sure.
And that's all. I'm essentially mechanically I'm moving twice and activating battle trance.
All right. Go ahead and move your token.
I'll move through doors, please. Nope. Okay. Why?
Not the windows. Oh, can you not move diagonally?
No, I can't. I have the wrong thing selected. I think.
Yeah, make sure you have The person icon
Yeah,
and
there
the
it is.
square. Yes, because
Yeah.
if you were in ruler mode, you ain't moving.
Yeah, it kept because that's what was confusing me. Because like when I move, I see how far I can move, and that's what's happening now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I measured it out previously, I
Yeah.
didn't switch back.
I can open and close doors.
Yeah, I found out. I saw it before. And
Who gave you this
the
power?
thought
It must
process
be
of like, I can open doors. Yay. I was like, I can do that at home. Come on. Like,
I mean, shots
what
fired.
am I doing?
All right. So
yeah.
so Chevalier is going to go hoofing the length of the barn here. By the way, most of the stables have got something that either is actually a horse or something which would serve the job of a horse. Just to spare the sensibilities of the players, I'm not going to describe what those other options look like right now.
Now that you've said that, I know exactly what they look like. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's
I bet they're the goodest boys.
It's filled with horse and horse-like substitutes.
I can't believe it's not horse.
I can.
Oh gosh. All right. Hang on a second here. Oh, there we go.
I can
all right.
definitely
Tongue,
like
like-
it has far too many or too few legs.
Yes.
More than 4. No, thank you.
Spider.
Just as a general rule.
What's
Oh,
spider?
I was just imagining like subterranean lizards.
Oh, that's fine.
lizards, ants, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's when we get into more than 4. We don't do that.
So what's Spider up to?
Oh, yeah. Chevalier is just like charged in. It's just like
There's
sorry.
there. I was about to like because there are windows in the sky bridge because obviously she
Yeah.
was able to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it windows or is it an open?
It's windows.
Thing.
It's glass.
Right.
Well, crystals probably, but yes.
Yeah, I think Spider just nods at Renamala and Lucas and says, "It's go time," and climbs up the wall.
All right. Yeah.
Does his own transformation.
She is impressed.
Yeah, it's just like hand over hand straight up to the window ledge, pulls himself up and is trying to see it, like perches on the window ledge.
All right. There's
Trying
no
to see-
window ledge in here. Oh, wait a second. I actually need to check a map. I think you're going to be looking at someone's bedroom window at this point. One moment.
I
I thought this
I
was
do
a
like-
stables.
Yeah.
I feel like the cheese journey has been like, yeah, you hear voices. That's hilarious. Oh, you do, and they give. Oh, that's
Oh.
interesting.
It's just like,
Oh.
You can climb. That's cute.
That's it.
Oh,
What a journey.
with a robot friend. What is he doing?
I think the only
Starts
one that
staring
she is like
expectantly at Lucas. What cool thing?
and
do
what
you
can you do?
I have a sword.
exactly.
I bet you say that to all the boys.
Takes
yeah.
off and reattaches his leg.
So yes. So I think. So yeah. I'm just actually having to double check the upper story map. Yes. So this is this is not a modern barn. This is actually a much more a much more medieval inspired barn. You see, critters are warm. And so
Yes.
putting bedrooms above critters means that your bedroom floors are always warm. So what you're looking at, the actual window ledge is actually directly above the doors over here.
Yeah.
And you're looking down a hallway into what is clearly the living area for the building.
So there are no windows into the bedrooms.
Not that you can see here. Because you're like it would make perfect sense, I think, to him that probably if there aren't windows facing out this way, they're probably on the sides of the building. I mean, again, automatic 15 for crime. Yeah.
Yeah, well that's where he would go for, not the like one directly above the door that would most likely to lead onto a corridor. He wants to go straight up to one of the room windows so he can jimmy his way in.
Yeah, so that would probably the closest one to you. I mean, by guess, would be over here, right, just around the corner from you.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, like it's just climbing straight up, like, well, not straight vertical, but as in like climbing round the building and then up to the nearest window to try and open it from the outside, which I know windows don't generally do, but they can if you have the appropriate tools of thievery, which my character sheet says I do.
And thus it does. All right, things are going to get a little bit weird here. So what I'm going to do, just give me a moment. I need to navigation, all players.
And of course, he is trying to open the window and slide in stealthily.
Exactly. So just give me a moment. I need to make a small change so that players can sort of drift back and forth between the two maps as they see fit.
I kind of love the idea that, like, you know, the critters are warm, therefore make bedroom above stable. Only works with like mammalian creatures.
Mm-hmm.
If too many people turn up with lizards and ants, your bedroom is cold.
And not only that, but your critters are sleeping.
You're just like, ah, dang it.
Yep. All right. So I'm actually going to remove Spider off of this map and move Spider to a different up at the top of your browser window. You should now see 2 entries for Footnote Waters. The other one is the upstairs. So what I'm going to do is move Spider to the second, off of the first map and onto the second map, because that's where he is right now.
Level up.
So 1 second here. Where's Jasper? Spider. Oops. What is going on here? Hang on. There we go. So that is where you've come in. And I'm going to change. Okay. And then I need to, this is going to be a little bit more back and forthy than I wanted to get into, but that's fine. So just give me a sec here. Oops, that button, and that'll send. So yes, you've come out into a, into a small room. Well, small, 15 by 15. There's a couple of little crystal lamps on here. What you actually come out onto is the actual bed. The big round thing in the corner is actually a very, literally almost 10 foot across sprawl. There's a fur scaly thing of some kind on the floor, and then.
And this looks like a bookcase or something. Is this a desk?
It's a wardrobe. So yeah, there's a bookcase to the north of you, and then the one with the red lamp on it is a bookcase. It's got all kinds of various things, everything from trashy romances to astrophysics, and then the one which has the white light on it. And again, it's funny because the reason they have a white light is because night elves don't see very well in that yellow-white spectrum. For that, that's a very dim glow. There's a little chest up on top. It's a wardrobe that probably is as high as your shoulder. Right, don't build closets. You use a wardrobe.
Okay,
so that would be clothing and that sort of thing in there.
Yeah, Spider's going to climb up to like one of the corners of the room, the darkest corner. The darkest corner of the room, because that's the instinct that you have, even if it's not right.
Yep.
And brace himself and start loading his crossbow and prepare.
Sounds good. All right.
Don't know if anyone's coming into this room, but best to be prepared.
Exactly. All right. Meanwhile, back outside. Alexandria.
Yeah. Alexandria doesn't climb walls. Alexandria doesn't run with just her legs, then her torso. That it all goes together. Alexandria doesn't feel limited, however. Just Chantel.
This meat suit that I'm condemned to be trapped within.
Whatever. See, that's what it is. You wake up in the morning again.
And then your sleep demon that looks like yourself goes, forever!
And then looks at me again. I don't know what to do. Alexandria doesn't know what to do. Oh. If I go, oh wait, I can't run that far. Go back, too far. What can I run? It's only 30, right?
Run back and forth. Like,
When uncertain, when in doubt, run in circles, scream and shout.
I can't see anything from here.
So your base movement, unless otherwise specifies, is 30 feet, and if you want to use your primary action, you can move another 30 feet. Just again because American system, the squares are 5 feet, so 6 squares, right?
Yep. Yeah. I will follow Chevalier, I guess.
All right. And again, you can use the arrow keys if it's just easier to move.
Oh, apparently I tried to go through a wall when actually I did not. I just wanted to skip the whole, going around a corner.
Hang on a sec.
Okay. I will be here.
Okay, so if, just by the way, if you want to do complicated mapping,
how did I skip to complicated? I was just walking.
No, to be able to go around things.
Oh.
If you control shift click, it will allow you to draw a path like you see I'm doing for Lucas right now. That allows you to do things like cut through doors.
I see. Okay.
Just, like I say, I honestly find it much easier just to use the mouse keys and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But...
Yeah, no, that is easier. That looks cool, but I'm not that cool. So I am going to do that and probably just run to keep up with Chevalier. Why not? Wait.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just running because I need vision on them to be able to do anything. So that's just for Alexandria, what she's doing.
Alexandria just had the incredibly surreal experience of having something that looked like a cross between a bullfrog and a snail whinny at her.
We're going to save that for therapy later.
Thank you.
She? What is she up to?
I cannot fly.
No, you cannot.
I cannot climb like that anyway. And I'm not a big robot. But I'm probably cooler than Alexandria, and so I start running.
Which way?
Apparently in Open Legend, every turn starts with you having to go through a slight existential crisis. Then
oh my God, just move. I'm not going through a door.
Yes, you are. The door's
you are. The doors.
I closed
the doors. You can't go through the doors you close.
Something locked door. Okay, I mean.
Exactly. All right, there you go. That's my movement.
All right.
I could stand right next to where Alexandria is.
You did.
I won't. No, as in on top of what your token was.
I think Lucas is going to look at Renishi, at Renamala and go, what's the plan now? Mala kind of is going to look back at him, chuckle, and say, run, I guess. I'm going to set up here. There's a portcullis just inside the barn. I'm going to get on this side of it. You get on the other side of it. Drop the portcullis. I can fire to help you guys if you fight in the barn. Okay, says Lucas. That makes sense to him. So he is going to head inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then Mala is going to move. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on, no, she was, yeah. So that will get her there, but she can see at least down the length of the hallway there. That gets them moved. Meanwhile, upstairs, the nasty things. All right. I'm going to do this. I need to edit a couple of critters here. Rename, token name is 01. And always update. There we go. And then edit 02, just to make it easier to figure out what's going on. 2, and always, and done. Okay, cool. So we'll do this so everyone in the camera can see what I'm doing. So essentially they just go one after the other anyway, so it's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gets them there. Okay. All right. And that brings us back outside to Chevalier and Company. I do apologize. This little bit is going to be slightly sticky to get going because literally who gets there first changes a few things. At this point, it looks like Chevalier is going to win this foot race, but that, yeah, just to be sure. So Chevalier. What is your cunning plan, good sir?
Continuing to go up to the next level, and then I guess I'll have to take stock when I can see it.
Sure. So 3 squares of movement to get you up around the corner.
Yes.
And I will move your token onto that map.
So many questions. Like, do they eat other creatures that aren't humanoid to regenerate? And other questions Alexandria would never ever ask, but Chantel's wondering.
And then I need to change over here so the audience can see this. And then ping. There we go. So this is what Chevalier is seeing. So yes, I think the first thing which is immediately obvious to Chevalier is these two are twins. They are actually identical in every respect. I don't know possibly why he hadn't noticed before, but now that you're looking at them side by side, every detail about them is identical. They are completely generic, universal ebon elf upper middle class women merchants.
Just the animator got lazy.
Yeah, frame duping. It's a thing.
Copy and paste. Let's do it once. It's fine. Trying to remember how area things work. Okay.
Now, just so you're aware, directly ahead of you, that door is a portcullis. The awkward part about it, you know, it's a rolled, for lack of a better way of putting it, it's built like a garage door that it's up against the ceiling and would close down, so basically dropping to seal so that the angle it turns is towards you, as it were. It's obviously designed to be triggered from the other side. I think Chevalier, as a literal war machine, would conclude that literally the objective is to be able to seal off, quote, seal off the access from the stables to the living areas.
Right. Is it open? It's open at the moment.
It is open. Yes, that's why you can see through it. Also that you check the icon. The door icon is actually open.
Yeah,
So
that's a really good point. As soon as it's like, wait, no, there's icons for this. I mean, it'd just be a really bad idea to lock myself in a room with two of them. That'd be super dumb.
Sam, why are you saying it like that?
Any others are coming up behind you, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Two wizards.
sprint forward, close the door. It closes
Not
the
a
door
wizard.
behind you.
Wizards know
Yeah.
things. I'm not a wizard.
Well, casters.
Is Lucas not coming up that way?
Not that I saw.
And he's not a wizard.
I'm sure he can quickly learn how to use ranged magic.
Harry?
Evolve, damn you!
That sounds dangerous.
Look at you. I choose you.
Oh, that's a good point.
No digivolving, no.
Where's the switch for the portcullis?
It is. I will actually just pen it on the wall so it's a little more obvious. Hang on a second. Hello, pen, so it is more obvious. Why aren't you? Oh, bloody hell. Hang on a second. For some reason, this is being daft all of a sudden. Oh, there we go. Oh, lag. Okay, there we go. Do you see the little red brick which has just appeared?
I do, yes.
That is the location of the lever.
It's such a bad idea.
Alexandra will be very unhappy with you.
Alexander will be so unhappy with me.
Very unhappy.
I don't know
How
that
could
that
it
stopped any of us from doing anything before.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
How could it possibly go bad?
Can I? So for a while, because in Open Legend,
Mm-hmm.
you get to pick 2 perks and 2 flaws to help sort of flavor your character because they just sort of give. It's why Alexandre gets to ask the song a question. That's why Spider was able to learn that piece of information. And I've not been super happy with like it. Like when we first started using Open Legend, I can't even remember what both the flaws were, but I was like, this doesn't quite work, and I was constantly trying to work out how to reword them. And as I've mentioned earlier, one of them is not built. I just named one not built for subtlety.
Yes.
But more recently, I realized that a way of wording the second one was can take stoicism too far.
Are you
And
going
Chantel knows this because she helped with that.
are you going to? Are you saying you are going to voluntarily use your flaw?
Yeah.
I thought you might say that. Congratulations, you've just earned yourself a legend point.
Yay.
Damn.
So
Stop building characters like you.
It's like
Not nearly this.
it's almost like asceticism. Not quite.
It's
More like
I was literally like I can't remember how I got into it, but I was reading like it was like the 4 aspects of stoicism. And I was like, oh god, that's Chevalier. Oh,
Yeah.
that's him.
Yeah.
That's oh goodness.
I tried to argue him out of it.
like the self-sacrifice thing, right?
Yeah, it's also just like it's like in the situation of like who is the best one for them to beat on? The giant robot. They don't majority of the people coming up behind me don't need to be near them to be effective. But if I can put the barrier down, that means they won't be in as much trouble.
I'm sure that's how that works.
Yeah, I'm sure that, illusory creatures don't have any way at all of affecting people that are at distance from them. Go ahead, do the thing. It'll be fun. Let's go.
Don't worry about
I still
it.
have wine. Let's go.
Yeah. So I got there with the remainder of. I think that's the remainder of my movement. I use a free action to hit that switch. I can close doors.
I don't like that at all.
So, for perspective, what just the audience can see this, but the player cannot. There's now a locked icon on that door. What it actually means is that I'm the only one who can open that door now, and is so that players coming up behind cannot lift the portcullis. So Chevalier grabs onto that lever, pulls down on it, and I don't know if to his horror is the correct, but certainly to his moment, is going to hear the very distinct sound of a pin being pulled. Followed by the sound of a mechanical flywheel going woo, and the portcullis goes chunk down behind, because it doesn't have a wind up motion. It has a drop mechanism.
Sam, why? Why?
In other words, once it's down, it cannot be put away easily.
Yeah, that makes sense in hindsight.
By the way, you can hear the sound of this thing slamming into the metal slots on the floor downstairs. I mean, rattles the wooden floors.
Shit.
We in a tavern or a fortress?
It's a 500 pound, I mean, a decent sized portcullis is about 500 pounds, 250-ish kilos. This thing comes slamming down on a 10-foot drop after accumulating, even with the flywheel slowing it down a bit, so it doesn't, basically no one's going to get themselves cut in half by this thing coming down unexpectedly. It still comes down with 500 pounds worth of force being dropped over 10 feet. So yeah, no, it rattles the floors, it rattles the windows. Spider thinks something collided with the building, and you folks down the floor below, it sounds like a bass drum's been hammered on the floor.
Sweet, yeah, cool.
I vaguely suspect they heard this. I think Chevalier, in a moment of stoic analyticism, will possibly conclude that everyone in the damn building heard that sound.
Mm-hmm. Well, which activates the second floor, surely, not built subtlety.
Think what I can do.
So yeah, is that the extent of Chevalier's clever ideas?
Oh, we haven't started on my clever ideas.
Oh, yay!
I'm trying to. I'm going to.
Oh, by the way,
feel bad about myself for doing this.
Yeah, keep going.
Because I don't think this will kick off until next turn. I don't think. I'm not. Yeah. So I think I'm going to try and put the resistance boon on myself, which means that next turn when I go to sustain, I won't be able to sustain the one that I already have on. Oh, I probably won't be able to keep two of the resistance boon up. I don't know how that works.
Not unless you have the ability that allows you to do that.
Yeah, I think I can have as many I can sustain, which is one. So when I need to sustain, I have to pick between them. I won't be able to sustain the one that's protecting Alexandre at the moment.
Yeah, no. So it is literally a special ability to be able to maintain more than one boon or bane.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I'm going to put it on myself, and the thing I'm going to get resistant to is influence.
Okay, very good. So what does that's going to give you +4 defense?
Depends on my roll.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, okay. That's enough to get a fully charged one, which is 6.
Wow. Okay.
So they're like a bunch of these orb things. Like a few start like orbiting his head.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They sort of come out of his back and start orbiting his head.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And they've got like I think they're mostly like the gray, same gray as the reinforced armor, but there's a section of them which is like the same black as his like main body.
Mm-hmm.
And the group of them seem to be all looking around in different directions as they sort of go around his head.
Okay.
And that's me.
All right. So you're done? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Spider.
Yeah. At that sound, sorry, I lost audio for a little bit, but I'm back now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at that sound and seeing no one in the room,
Mm-hmm.
Spider's gonna hop down, move over to this door,
Mm-hmm.
open it.
Yep.
Oop. And so when I look here, it's just a corridor with doors shut at the end.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to you. I mean, you can kind of just side eye it. You're guessing that this is where the staff lives, and of course, they're all downstairs at work, right?
Yeah. Yeah. How does movement work? Sorry.
So again,
Is it
Left foot, right
do you
foot.
see?
No. I can move. I mean, how does movement work in open legend? How far can I move?
You can move. It's 30 feet.
30?
30 feet base, 6 squares. All right. Now I'm just going to point something out.
And you can break that up between actions.
Yes, it is a maximum of 30 feet interspersed in as many little bits as you want. And then if you want to double move, it consumes your main action, your major action, and basically gives you double movement.
Okay. And is there a equivalent to like holding your action?
I need to double check that. So my answer is I think yes. I'm totally okay with you saying I'm going to sort of use the D&D rules for it, but I can't remember what the actual open legend ruling is. But I just like the idea. For me, as someone who's done enough military stuff, that Overwatch is just a default behavior. And until when the bad guy shows up, I open fire. It just it was one of those just common ways of setting things up. So yeah, I'm totally okay with that kind of thing. Yeah, keep it simple.
Yeah. Then I think Spider like runs halfway down this corridor with the and is raising the crossbow, prepared to shoot if any foes come through any of the doors they can see.
Right. So this door here, right down here, is another portcullis. Same idea. Now you don't know, of course, what it is that Chevalier has done. The lever.
No, but if I heard that sound and can now see there's a portcullis,
and again,
like...
it's done like a garage door, if you will. As it rolls back up towards the roof, it's on a bit of an incline. So there's a lever on the wall. Give it a yank. It's pretty obvious to Spider that what should happen is this thing will roll forward and slam down to the ground. Again, I think Spider would, without doubt, understand that there would be no way for Spider to lift the damn thing once it's closed.
Yeah. The problem is the doors on the other side of it are open.
No, they're closed.
That's what I meant. They're closed. So I can't currently like shoot through unless someone opens the door.
Right.
So for now, I will wait.
Okay.
And hold an attack. I'm on Overwatch. If anyone comes through, if any of the baddies come through the door, I'm going to shoot them.
Sure
I've got the ruling on that if you'd like it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it myself. But
if you do not wish to act, it's on page 87 of the actual book. If you do not wish to act when your turn comes, you can defer your turn either by waiting or by preparing to react in response to some sort of situation. If you wait, you can take your turn at any time after another character's finished their turn, but before another character begins. So you can't interrupt without actually trying to interrupt, basically.
Makes sense.
If you're preparing to react, you should give a general description of what you're preparing for.
Yeah, I have done that.
Okay, cool.
And you don't have to do it when that triggering action occurs.
Okay, so it's
and if it does occur, you can choose to take your turn even if it does interrupt another character's turn.
Gotcha. So literally a reaction shot. Got it.
Yes.
Okay. So you can choose to take the reaction or not, but you have to prep the reaction. Okay, makes sense.
Yes. And if by the end of the round the triggering condition isn't met, you take your turn as usual.
Oh, cool. So I can
No,
But you
to
still
that
get it at
second-
the end if you don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
You still
okay.
do
so I get
something.
like the second half of my movement if I don't get to
Yeah,
take
that's
the
actually
shot.
even better than D&D, where if
Yeah,
your
correct.
reaction condition isn't met, you just lose the action.
Yeah.
Sort of run forward, check the angle, run
Yeah,
forward.
it's some SWAT movement
That's-
stuff.
Yeah, I like
Okay,
that. That's
cool.
actually very well done. Okay. So Jasper is on hold, as it were, and that brings us to Alexandri back downstairs. So let's change the map.
So the portcullis.
Mm,
This door down here as well?
No, you can't see a portcullis.
I can. Okay, cool. There's a door here.
Yeah,
That's
that is
all.
that is an actual.
Oh, that's
door.
a side door.
Yeah, that is a door.
Okay, cool.
It is a door that leads to places.
It's a door. Cool. Alexandra is gonna, not angrily yet, run up the stairs. 3, 4, 5, 6.
6 gets you to the top of the stairs. Okay, one sec while I move your token.
Mm-hmm.
All right, roll for anger.
I'm gonna roll for fury, and Chevalier now has to resolve against fear. We laugh, but
it's essentially like the it's like just before pulling the lever, it's like, I'm gonna hear about this later. Clunk, tick, flywheel. Oh, I'm really gonna hear about this later.
ding, 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 ding. Chevalier.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna hear about this now.
1 second here. There's a problem with Alexandri's token.
No, there isn't. It's perfect in every way.
It's being excessively pretentious. 1 moment, please.
Perfect in every way.
Or at the right amount.
Exactly as intended. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
And then update token. Let's try that again.
Do we think they're tough? Maybe they're tough.
Gosh, I hope not. I mean, what?
Maybe they're not tough.
So okay, so that gets us to there. 1 sec while I change the
You're
view
good at
for the.
healing, right? You can just replace the life energy that's removed.
We don't know yet.
We're gonna take those. We're gonna take those parts of you that used to have life energy. I'm gonna put magical music in it, and it will be fine.
I'm sure there won't be any untoward side effects. So, so yes. So Alexandria is going to come tearing up the stairs, and 5 feet, literally at the top of the stairs, 5 feet ahead of her, Porculus, followed by 5 feet ahead of that, Chevalier, followed by that. Well, yeah, photocopied Ebon Elf Travelers.
Glasses on. Magic
Oh gosh, yes.
from them.
Okay, so yes, we'll keep it down to that answer. Yeah.
Yep.
There are magical auras about them. Yes, they are actively using an illusion, essentially an illusion to mask what they look like.
Okay. And the portcullis magic?
No, it's just big, blocky, heavy.
It's just big and heavy.
Yeah.
Glasses off. Okay. I'm tech heavy now. Oh. I'm gonna.
Sorry, giggling at Sam in chat.
Oh, damn it, Chevalier. Had one idea now, not that idea. Oh, if I wanted to cast a spell on 2,
That is
how much more? That's multi-targeting. How much
equal to the number of targets?
disadvantage equal? So it would be a disadvantage 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, unless you do it like as an area, which then becomes different. Depends on the area and the
I
shape.
don't think I can do it as an area. It's too high level. I will try to incapacitate 1.
All right.
Which is a entropy. which goes up a level because I'm special. I don't know. There's a reason.
Because I asked nicely.
because I'm happy. Extraordinary focus. So it actually goes up 1. So I've got entropy 5. So instead of rolling 2d6, I now roll what?
Okay.
What's at 6?
All right. So so the way it works is you take advantage and you subtract disadvantage. So what do you have for do you have any advantage?
Oh?
Okay. Then what you are going to do is roll your regular number of dice plus 2, and you will take the lowest of the number of dice that you should have rolled. So if you're going to, so what's your base dice pool?
Extraordinary focus is different.
Extraordinary focus is not that. I just move up a die type.
You roll the die type of the next level of whatever you have.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your base attribute?
It's 5. So I'm just after what happens when you get to a 6. 2d8. Thank you.
Yeah. So 5 is 2d6. A 6 is 2d8. Yes. My apologies.
Okay, cool. I've never done that one before.
I totally misheard you. Oh my gosh. My apologies.
That's okay. All right. That's bad. So 9, 16, 17 against their toughness.
All right.
Or one of their toughness.
All right. And exactly.
Just one of them.
So what does it? Okay. So their toughness is a 14. What does your 17 do?
The target is immobile, can't move from their current space, and unconscious. Right. They have disadvantage 5 on all perception rolls and are incapable of moving. As a result of being completely incapable of movement, an incapacitated character can be the victim of a finishing blow.
Wow, very nice.
At a power level 5, the effects can be broken by a moderate disruption, such as a firm shove, a kick, glass of water, loud bang, etc.
All right. So you rolled a 17. That's 7 divided by... You rolled power level 3.
Banes don't require that. They just have to beat the defense.
I just beat the defense, so I did.
Yes, but the point is that the severity by which they are incapacitated goes up based on power level. She didn't make a power level 5. So any amount of noise disruption.
Right.
So her effective power level for the attack is a 3, which means a loud noise, shouting, that sort of thing, I think will rouse them. Do I have that correct?
It doesn't say.
No, with
it doesn't say that.
You have to meet the power level requirement. With Banes, you just have to beat their defense and you get whatever the top power level of your Bane is.
Oh, okay. Sorry. For some reason, I thought incapacitated was one of those that had gradiated effects, because a few Banes do.
It does.
It does.
It does, but
I
5
can't.
is the minimum.
Yeah, 5 is the minimum. I can't do 7 or 9.
Gotcha. Okay, got it. Okay, I see what it is. Okay. You can't because you've succeeded, you can't go lower than 5. Got it. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I was misunderstanding what was going. For some reason, I thought you had higher. That there was a power level 3 for that. I was remembering that ability wrong. Is my problem. Okay. So yeah. So which one are you going to hit? The one that's closest to Chevalier or the one furthest?
The one closest.
All right.
Because it doesn't make sense to hit the one furthest.
Yeah, well, locking yourself in a room with them doesn't make sense either, but here we are.
I mean, one of us has to be thinking clearly. Chevalier.
So I'm just going to draw.
I weighed up the value of everyone's life outside of this room and the value of the life inside this room, and I made a call. Your maths might be different.
Chevalier, we are going to have to talk after this.
All right, so I have a stunned marker on one of the 2 tokens. So that one is now suffering from incapacitation. What is the do they get to auto save?
They get to resist. A resist ends.
I don't think you can resist end incapacitation.
It says resist ends. Fail 3 times.
But oh, right.
So a lot of things that
yeah.
Because they cannot take actions, they usually abilities like that will generate an at the end of their turn option to roll for free.
At the end of each of its turns, they receive a resist roll as a free action to break free from the effect.
Right.
Turns out it helps if you read the second sentence.
Yeah,
Awkward.
it do.
It do. All right. All right. That was Alexandri. She, all by her lonesome in a barn.
She goes home. No.
Wow.
She's probably gonna continue up the stairs.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Probably right behind.
I was just going to say,
Yep.
yeah, you're going to hear a trumpet of defiant music from up above, from at the top of the stairs. The vague sound of challenging horns and someone being beaten to death with a harp is roughly the noise that you hear.
That's about right, yeah. Thanks for the description. That's right.
I mean,
She is just gonna be
would
like,
have gone with
"What?"
sad trombone, but all right. As they fall.
Yeah.
She's just gonna ignore that.
Wow.
do
Do I ignore your deity? Do I? When was the last time I ignored your deity? When was?
I have one.
Constantly,
It's
all the
called
time.
science.
Oh, I ignore that all the time.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
That's
just
true.
the idea of looking upstairs, Stratter clam, everyone runs upstairs, trombones, harps. Never mind. Don't want to know.
Not today. Not today.
All right, go ahead, move your character.
Not
Cool.
today.
How do I
Setting
move it
appropriate
up?
Satan.
Zoom.
Yep, that you have squares for that.
Am I upstairs now?
Yes, you are. Well, actually, that stairwell is sort of the in-between space. So I'll pop you onto the other map so that you can actually
Sick.
see what's going on.
Pretty sick.
She's just like,
Yeah, can we talk about
Alright.
this?
Um,
Oh, gosh.
and then, oh no, I don't know what to do.
So yeah, so you come around the corner to find
One's
yeah,
my
you
head.
know,
By just moving.
yeah, you come around the corner to find Alexandri standing at
Now
the
I
top
can
of
hear
the
you.
stairs, literally blocking your path. And you can see a Porculus beyond her.
I'm gonna say what I was gonna say.
I know what you were going to say because I was about to say it, and then I went, no, I'm not going to say that. So don't worry, I'm right there with you. I was right there with you. Yep.
I will instead. I don't know what to do. Fudge.
Use your magic.
If you, because they're incapacitated, if you can hit them, they might just die.
I don't really have smacky things.
Do you have
I
a
can.
weapon?
Well, and
Have
just by the way,
Blasty magic thing.
because you are literally 5 feet down, because it is a staircase and you are looking
Mhm.
up, basically through Alexandri's ankles and shins, you will be a disadvantage 1 to any action you take.
I don't think that's a disadvantage move.
It is for
I think
purposes of
that's-
concentration.
Oh, okay, yeah, actually, that's
All
good.
right, then yes. Yeah. I can do persistent damage.
Yeah, that's a damaging. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Like
because damaging roll is just like if you have like a magic thing that could conceivably do like a blasty or some kind of mat, you can just roll that as
Yeah,
an
if you
attack.
have any like
Oh.
yeah, so for example, if you have energy, you could just literally lob a ball of fire or lightning down the hallway.
sick.
Or like entropy, you could just like try to dissolve them.
So I have entropy 1, which isn't bad. I have
Cute.
creation 3, which is much better. But I do have persistent damage, which that sounds sexy. So I think
Put
I
that
might
on the
do
other one, the one that's up and about.
up and about.
A fun time.
Which one?
The not incapacitated one.
What one am I smacking? Just tell me which one I smack and I'll smack it.
So the one which is so hang on a second here. Let me put the map up so everyone can see what the discussion is. This one here.
Mhm. I mean, that's probably the only one that I can actually have a
this one here is
semi-clear shot.
Yeah, this one here is laying flat on the floor and is and actually I will just throw the second tag onto it. So that be basically knocked flat on its backside. This one over here is clearly standing and looking very much like it's planning on picking a fight right soon.
Then in that case, what does immobile do?
What Sam was trying to explain is that there is a coup de grace ability, finishing blow, essentially. If something is unable to resist an attack, it just dies if you hit it. And so what he was encouraging, Sam was attempting to encourage you to do, was just nuke it to kill the one that's knocked down.
It doesn't. It might just die.
Yes, it
gets a fault result, but if you can't do a big hit, like the bigger the hit, the harder the roll. So
yeah.
You're putting resistant damage on the other one and then letting Chevalier curb stomp the other one is probably fine.
I think I'm gonna help.
Or
I'm a support person. So I think I like the sound of immobile. So I'm gonna try and immobilize the one that's standing up.
All right. So what ability are you rolling to do that?
Agility versus guard.
All right. So the way
what were you going to say, Sean?
Can you do that? Because it's
so okay. So
depends on how you're immobilizing them.
Like for example, agility versus guard. That would be like throwing a set of bolas, for example. Or doing a slide, basically doing the third base slide to hook the legs out from under them. That would be that sort of thing.
All right.
So you have to keep in mind the idea of range. You have to be able to explain how does your stat get there, right?
When it's in red, what does that mean?
Where are you looking?
I'm looking at the Banes. And it says attacks, and there's like agility versus guard, alteration versus guard.
I think the red means because there's multiple ways to do it. The red ones are ones you can't do that version of it.
No, the red one probably does it say entropy versus something?
It says entropy versus toughness.
That's what you want.
Creation versus toughness.
So it highlights the ones that you could practically do, and then you get to choose which one you use.
Then I'm going to use creation because I've got 1d8 in that.
How you gonna?
I can create something to make them immobile.
Yeah, I know. I want to know what it is.
Oh, okay. Well,
your GM
then
is
in that
interested
case,
in this discussion as well. By the way,
it color codes them by defense. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So what I will
really useful.
So she is going to kind of mold. What are the materials of this kind of hallway? Is it wood?
It's wood floors. It's actually, let me double check the map. This is actually like literally incredibly fancy. This is remarkably posh. These are actual wood floors. This isn't stone. This is wood.
So in that case, she's gonna like shard the wood, so it like splinters. It kind of explodes in front of the further back. Verblodron, and then also from the side, the kind of the wall next to them, also kind of splinter that, and it's going to kind of explode in the way that an airbag does, and kind of just shoot little shards around their body so that they can't shift themselves.
So you're basically going to literally fence them in.
Yes.
With little lancets of wood. Okay, I think that sounds terribly cool. Go ahead and roll it. Let's see what you come up with. And this is versus what's the target you're rolling against?
Toughness.
Toughness. All right. Your target number is a 14.
Is that an 8? No, that's not an 8. Give me an 8. D8. Hello? There we go. Oh, bollocks. All right. Okay.
I mean, what a great roll.
That is 13.
13. That is exactly not enough.
It was so close to exploding.
So so the wall will erupt in this little in this fence of these arm long wooden lancets that will come rocketing up out of the floor, and I think this is going to be the first hint that there's something seriously wrong from Renishi's perspective. Is the way this thing just literally sort of blurs out of the way. It doesn't dodge. It almost kind of smears into the the anime smear frame out of the way and then back into the space again. Like, yeah, that's just not right.
Just turn around and head back downstairs. It's really not.
Reneshi is going to blame it on Alexandra's ass being in the way, so she'll move out the way.
Well, if you were a little faster, you would get here.
And with that, she'll just like offended gasp, and then like they'll do that thing where they're like both trying to go up the same hallway.
Okay, fantastic. Downstairs, Lucas, I'm not going to bother skipping the camera back down. Lucas and Mala are going to realize that, okay, so that's been an explosion, a portcullis, some shrieking, the girls arguing. Okay, the fight's upstairs. Right.
But also, everyone's alive because we're arguing.
So Lucas and Mala will be double moving to get themselves relevant to the discussion. Oh gosh. So Lucas, so Ren and Mala will be change of plan. Do not drop the portcullis. Haul ass. So Lucas.
Which is what Reneshi tried to do.
4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Lucas will get to that spot and appear on the map. Let him get me. And that's becoming a traffic jam. There we go. That's Lucas. Will appear there. Sword and shield, and I need to get past.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Exactly.
No.
And Renamala, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. And she's going to be looking at Lucas occupying the bottom to the stairs.
Of course she is.
Let me guess. They're all fighting in the stairwell. Oh yeah.
He's like, there's a portcullis that's been dropped down. Oh. Idiot.
What? Yes, what idiot dropped the portcullis?
Yes, Chevalier, tell us which idiot dropped the portcullis.
All right. Yeah.
If that's everyone, Jasper gets to finish his stuff.
Yeah. Actually, well, no, the bad guys get to move. So
Yeah, after them.
yeah. So number 1 is going to move to here and turn its first major ability on.
Number 1 being not the one that is incapacitated.
Correct. So I think just right away it's actually, something. No, it's not going to do that. It's going to stay back here because it doesn't need to close, and it's just going to use poison spit. So it is literally going to do this blur smear back into its location, and then, for lack of a better way of putting it, vomit at Chevalier. And
That's just rude.
I don't think there's
It's like a scene out of Little Britain.
Now, I'm normally immune to poison. Is that the case for this?
This is
particular?
actually an entropy attack. It's described as poison spit, but it's actually going to do fatigued and sickened. It's a multi-bane, multi-attack. So the good news is because there are 2 of you standing shoulder to shoulder, it can only hit 1 of you. Multi-attack, however, means it gets 2 goes at trying to nail you. So let's dial up them dice. So, what is your toughness, my good man?
It is currently 22.
22. All right.
Yes.
So, all right. So let's start out here. There's a D20 that needs to get rolled. And then its entropy is 2d10. And then it gets advantage 2. So I don't have enough d20s here, so we'll re-roll a couple of d20s.
Why is it rolling multiple d20s?
Sorry, d10s, my apologies. Don't have,
Okay.
yeah. Actually, I can do, I'll just use...
Mildly better.
Yeah, mildly. All right, so I'll use those as the advantage dice. We'll just use the first digit, not as a 30. And then it's going to, because it is doing multiple attacks, it's going to lose one of those advantage dice because it's shooting twice. Hang on a second. No, its special is tier 2. So it actually does not lose. It does not actually lose that dice. So it gets to make all attacks with advantage, as you see. So we're trying.
Multi-attack
It's cheating.
is more convoluted unless he's attacking 2 people. If it's attacking me twice.
Yes, it's attacking you twice.
It's more convoluted than just
All right.
2.
Let me just double check it real fast.
Sorry, I've got it here.
Yeah.
At the start
cool.
of your turn, you can declare your multi-attacking. You must state how many extra attacks you'd like to make. So in this case, 1.
Mm-hmm.
You receive a corresponding number of additional major actions which can be used for attacks. All of the attacks suffer disadvantage equal to 3 times the number of additional attacks being made. So disadvantage 3. For each tier of the feat, you reduce by 1. So it would have 1 disadvantage.
It has 2. It actually has tier 2 on this ability.
So
Yeah, so that means
disadvantage
it
1.
reduces the disadvantage 3 by 2, making it disadvantage 1.
Right. Okay. So that's the correct number of dice then. So that's the 1 advantage dice. Okay. Let's see what we roll. So it's trying to roll higher than a 22.
Disadvantage.
It has disadvantage 1, not advantage 1.
Yes, but it has, because of it has advantage 2 natively.
I see.
Oh, gross.
So that's a 3. You're probably safe. That's a 5. Oops. That was a 3. Hang on a sec. That's the 5. This was a 3. Where did it go? I'll never find it again. Just everyone remember that was a 3. That's a 2. And let's see. So I think you're going to be fine on this first attack. Yeah, that's not even close. So I would replace the lowest die. So its grand total, therefore, is 3, 5. Yeah, it's not even close to 20. So the second attack, we'll see what happens. So yes, this thing just splatters. And whatever it is another 2. Good grief, man. You're probably fine.
I mean,
3.
magical poison, that's just cheating.
Yeah. 7. And a 2. So, yeah, again, not even close. So you're fine, which is good. But yes, I think Chevalier, to his horror, is going to realize that this stuff is actually peeling some of his armor reinforcement. And is lifting the varnish off the floor, etc., etc. I think the not good is probably a salient discussion of what this stuff does. The other critter on the floor, unconscious, gets its can't do anything except roll its save.
Yes.
Now it
I'd like that save to go badly. How do I go about that?
Okay, it does not have okay, it doesn't have a special ability. It's just going to roll a flat d20.
Good. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to remind you that we haven't seen
Get over
the
a 10 or
finishing
something?
blow
Is that how it
mechanic, and that'd be really good to show to the audience.
And that's a 14. So it
Yeah.
is going to, it will resist on its action and will, so it can't do anything, but it is no longer incapacitated. So
Yes,
it's going to
correct.
be somewhat grumpy. But yeah, so one sec while I, oops, get rid of these abilities. abilities. So it is still prone, but it is no longer incapacitated. So it's laying on the floor, but it will clamber back up. And then I think the part that really concerns people is when the first one goes again.
What? No.
And it is going to, at that point, will move 1, 2. Let me get back to the map here. 2, 3, 4, 5. That doesn't break engagement with Chevalier. And then it's going to use its ability called Beyond the Pale. It is it's a power level 5 aura, which is driving a 2d10 entropy life drain.
No, thank you.
So let's see how well it rolls. And then I think that means everyone within 15 feet gets hit. And I'm pretty sure I have that set up, so that means everyone in the stairwell also gets covered by this. So let's roll those dice.
Sick.
Well,
It take
maybe you could
damage
just
for the bad
Consider-
pun its attack.
No.
do what? Sorry, what was that, Jamie?
I feel like it should take damage itself for having such a bad pun for the name of its attack.
It's worthy of Sam.
It is worthy of Sam. All right. So, all right. So, yeah, 2d10. So, again, we go back and we consult the ridiculous numbers. It is an aura, so it just plasters everything. And it is...
What power level is the aura being used at?
Okay, the aura caps at power level 5. So no matter what it rolls, it can't go higher than 5.
Yay?
So let's see what numbers we come up with on. So that's a d20, and that's literally a natural 20. So that's a good start for you guys. And then there's
That sounded sarcastic.
that was very sarcastic. That's incredibly bad news. And then there's 2d10. That oops. Hang on a second. I've grabbed the wrong dice. Ignore that. So that's a 1. That's better news. That's a 4. And then it gets advantage 2. So we'll just roll a 1, which doesn't replace anything, and a 2, which replaces the 1. So, all right. So then that exploding d20. So let's see, we're at 26 so far. And rolls a 15 on top of that. So that's 36, that is 42. 41. So it rolls a 41, which means it's off the chart in terms of power level. I think everybody gets hit, yes, with a 41. Versus...
I mean, I'm not in range. But...
Yeah, versus toughness.
I mean, is this
Yes.
to turn on the aura?
Yes.
Or the attack roll?
This is the attack roll of being in the aura.
So this is the aura roll.
Yeah.
Yep. We all get hit by it.
So that is capped. So it's life drain at power level 5. Because that is the maximum that it can generate.
Right.
Because of the limitation of the aura. So one sec while I grab the appropriate book because I need to look that up. Open Legend bookcase. Core rulebook. Please hold. I forgot to copy paste what the ability did. And that is life drain. Okay, life drain, power level 5, sustain persists, 1 major action, attributes are entropy. While this boon persists, the target heals half of the damage they inflict with each attack. So in other words, everyone just got hit for whatever the difference is.
So I mean, creatures are different, but that's an area attack, not an aura boon.
Okay, let me read aura. Maybe I did it wrong. It's like I may have done it wrong.
Well,
You surround. Hang on.
just
Mhm.
the way I understand it, and I could obviously be very wrong, is that you activate aura. You roll to activate. You can get up to whatever power, up to an 8 power level if you're able to do that.
Mhm.
You then can pick a bane or a boon up to the same
Half of that.
up,
So
up to
4.
half, so 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah.
And then when a target is in either willingly enters that area or ends their turn within it, then they take the attack from that aura.
Yes, hang on a second. I'm rereading. Oh, yeah, I misread it. Maximum power level for the chosen banner was 1/2 the power level of your aura. So the power level. Okay, so the aura would be 6, because they don't have a stat to do an 8. So then they could hit. So then life drain. Okay, then I just straight up did it wrong because life drain requires a 5, I think.
Life drain is also itself not an attack. It's a boon that is placed on your attacks.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. So yeah. Okay. No, I have it. Yeah, okay. So right. So that would. Okay. So that would literally be turning the. Okay, I see how it works. Yeah, I got confused. They can sustain 2 things for once. Okay, what's supposed to happen? Yeah. I did this wrong. Yes. So it's going to get. So it turns that ability on, and then it has in it the damaging attack it should make next round. Is what's supposed to happen. I narrated it badly. So the monster roll was it basically meaning it has completely unfettered access to its power level.
It's definitely turned on life drain.
Yeah. So then, and then on its second action, that was its second action, and then the one on the floor is going to get up, and so let's do that, which is going to remove half of it. Thank you, by the way, Sam. I appreciate that. Is going to use up. Getting up uses half its movement, but it's not going anywhere, and I think it's just going to use its spit attack on Chevalier as an obvious target. Just trying to get rid of it. Just trying to get rid of the large metal monster. So we'll do that. So that is D20, 2D10, and advantage 1 on the roll we calculated. Let's go back to our dice cam. So let's start out with our D20. Whoops. Whacking the microphone around here. Sorry about that, folks. That was probably loud. That is an 11. First D10 is a 5. That's a 2. And then a 7. So the 2 will be replaced by the 7. So that is 11 and 7 is 19. 18, and then 5 more. So yeah, that exceeds your guard, correct?
My guard.
Sorry.
22.
Toughness. My apologies. Did it again.
Right. Yeah. So 22.
22. All right. So, all right. So you are going to be. So it's a multi-bane ability. You will be inflicted both the fatigued and sickened
gross
effects, and then it's going to do it again because fatigue stacks.
Mm.
It does.
Yeah. That was that card that I had in my hand, ready to go with. Yeah.
So that's an 8. And that's an 8, so we're up to 16. Oops. That's a 3. So it's 16 and 3 is 19. Open-ended 10, so that is going to replace the 3. So we've just exceeded your toughness. There's
So
the overkill doesn't help. Oh yes, it does. That's extra damage. So
Well, it's just doing the bane attack. There is no damage.
yes, that's right.
Bane
It's
it?
just So exceeded is exceeded, and that's the end of the statement. Yes, thank you. Lots of moving parts. All right. So yes, so you now have got a second level of fatigue applied.
Second.
So sickened means you are disadvantaged 1 to everything, if I recall correctly.
And my defenses go down by 1.
Yeah.
Right.
And then fatigued, trying to find it.
I think
Here we go. Level
non-attack
2
rolls and
targets-
I'm a half speed.
Yeah, speed is half speed. Yep. So okay, and then fatigued itself applies another disadvantage on all non-attack rolls, all action attacks. All right.
Fun.
Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show for today. That's so we will resume the battle next week. I appreciate everyone's patience as we muddle through the die rolling bit of this. But yeah, I hope you're all suitably terrified and having fun.
Yes. Yes,
Suitably
and yes.
terrified. Yes. Having fun. Also, yes.
Excellent. That's the most important part. I'm far more worried about the fun than the terrified.
Oh, good.
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. Before we wrap, what's Spider doing?
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
That's fine. He's just gonna move up to the door at the end of the hallway and can hear all the scrabbling going on in there.
Yeah.
Which sounds very close on the other side of the door, I imagine.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah, and so, he stashes the crossbow and pulls out a very fine walking cane.
Mm-hmm. Very good. All right.
And says a prayer to Bayhadia.
I was kind of like, it's like goes, I hear a lot of noises. I'm going to quietly walk up, hit this lever, and then leave.
I'm back out the window I came through. So yeah, you
not
actually.
a coward.
I was just going to say, are you going to open the door before as your last bit?
I mean, I guess so. I think like the plan is to open the door and surprise attack them all at the same time. So it'd probably be on my next action that I.
Fair enough. Okay, that's cool. So yeah, we'll just leave Spider
It's just
listening to
every. Here we go.
I'm sure this is fine. This has got to be fine.
Yeah.
It's never fine.
The good news is you're not having this fight in the middle of a space with 20 odd innocent bystanders who will get hit by AoEs.
True. We do need to close that other portcullis behind them.
To a certain degree, Alexandria would have preferred it. Not because other people might die, but, then she could run away. She can't do that now. Because there's a lot of people standing behind her and complaining about her ass. So.
There was no complaining. It was just in my way.
Complaining about your ass, just its location.
Just like,
distracting.
I am trying to work here.
Move this.
All right, folks. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all coming out to play. So yeah, I do hope you did have fun. So yeah, that's it for this week. We'll be back next. So I suppose it's that time of the day. Goodbyes. Chantel, if you would be so kind.
I'm trying to open. I made it. I made a thing to
Oh my
read.
God.
Me first?
Yes, of course you first. You're busy trying to open something.
Word, I don't have time to give feedback right now.
Hang on, Clippy.
Please, Word, no, not now.
Clippy back from the 1990s
Oh.
to help you right now.
I'm so stressed. Please. Chantel B. You can find me on Twitter at Chantel B. I'm an actor, writer, game designer, streamer. I'm a psychologist. Doesn't seem like it right now, but it's true. You can find stuff that I write and stuff that I do over on my website, which is wordswithcolor.com. I am recording a podcast at the moment for which is called Era of Silence for Shrike Tabletop. And I'm one of the writers on a narrative-heavy game that is... we're getting some of the art back for, which is... I'm going to take a moment. Yes, it's called Omens Rising is the game overall. The art is phenomenal. I'm one of the writers, so I can't, that
yes,
thing.
You absolutely can be proud of it.
Okay, so the writing, all of the other writers are stupendous. The writing is incredible. It is phenomenal. It is beautiful and it is fun. Anyway, not tomorrow. I won't be doing this tomorrow. I did this week. I play in the Falkenstein Affair, which is... Americans say bi-weekly. I'm going to say fortnightly because, what does that even mean?
Is that
fortnightly
Biorasia?
It is. Bi strongly. I play bi strongly.
Yes.
On action_fiction. And
we're for a week. And then the next week. And then the following week. And then the other week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And we play Good Society with Nadine and other people that have lots of thirst. Often the game is...
Get in. It's also a criteria hook in.
Yeah. Both the Falkenstein Affair and often Good Society are at 8. But sometimes they're at 9:30. Sometimes they move. You never know. And then
because what are schedules?
it's schedules,
Must find the dark stranger in the corner and ask them the code 3 times. The location of the Falkenstein Affair.
Correct. Basically,
Walt
follow
sent
me on
me.
Twitter and you'll know what I'm doing because I tweet a lot. Yeah,
She does. All right.
I do.
Nadine.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Crap. I am Nadine. You can find me on Twitter, NE_actor, the same as Twitch. Sometimes I am on Twitter, sometimes I'm on Twitch. But overall, I'm probably doing things. I play Good Society with Shawnee occasionally whenever things happen. When the moons coincide with the stars, I sometimes play games. I'm in this fantastic game on Saturdays. So why aren't you going to be here next week? What's the excuse? There is none. We'll see you then. And I have lots of things planned because I have more time now.
Excellent.
So exciting.
Jamie.
Well, that's me. I'm Jamie Collette. You can follow me on Twitter at Muffin Manifesto or on my website, jamie-collette.com. I'm a voice actor, director, streamer, game designer, or many things. You can catch me on twitch.tv/Ractus, which is the Know Your Role channel, playing Blades in the Dark at 2 p.m. EST on Wednesday.
Whatever your day is, it's the day before.
Yep, Wednesday then.
Got it.
2 p.m. EST Wednesday. And I'm also designing a Forged in the Dark game called Shields in the Wall, which is all about creating Viking communities.
Fun.
Yeah, that's a fun time. And I'm working on it again recently, which is good.
Yes, it's great news. All right. Sam.
Hello, I'm Sam. I'm a voice actor and performer based in Brisbane. You can find me on Twitter at @the_real Sammy P. weirdly, I'm also doing a podcast called Era of Silence for Shrike Tabletop. That's such a
very
coincidence.
weird that there'd be two.
Yeah, it's going to be a real weird marketing
What?
problem, but I think we'll work it out. We recorded we did our first recording. I think that might turn into two episodes. I don't know which one it was.
It's only going to be the one, I think.
But
on my one.
Absolutely didn't occur to me while I was playing, but it was pointed out to me afterwards that my sort of more southern than I was expecting him to be sounding character called Atticus is now pretending to be a lawyer. And I was like, I didn't see that.
You did it. You did it.
I did the thing. Whoops. Okay.
So okay, for the uneducated,
And
here,
you're being followed by a scout.
for the uneducated here,
Sorry.
it's a Let Play podcast, so it's essentially what we're doing here, just without visuals.
Yes.
Basically, yes. It's an actual play
Yeah.
to
And-
teach the new system.
It's
And
the system in development.
Sam
where
is
play
completely
testing.
plagiarizing the Harper Lee
Yeah. Whoops.
playbook.
The people, like one of the other players was like, "Oh, I really love that you kind of did this thing." I was like, "Oh,
Yes, I did that.
I didn't even notice
That was
to
a
Totally.
conscious
make a thing
decision.
about it, let alone like."
It's awkward. Yeah.
He's not.
Entirely deliberate.
He's not actually a lawyer. It was literally just like, I have a contact, and the contact was like, "Want a better option?" I went, "Yes, I would. Thank you." That's more than I expected. But I am also in this stream on Saturdays, but then on Mondays, for me at least.
So Sunday night.
I think, it's like 8. No, wait a second.
What time is it for
7
you?
p.m. for me, but I don't have daylight savings.
Oh, then it's in the morning for
Then
Well,
it's
it's
America.
like-
early morning
I think it's
Eastern.
technically it's like 8
4,
o'clock
5?
Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, which means for Eastern Standard, I think it's
Oh,
like
it's even
5
earlier.
a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
it's
5
13
a.m.
hours. It's 13
Yeah,
hours.
it's 5 a.m. for them.
The VOD also exists. But we're playing through one of the Mansion of Madness adventures in Call of Cthulhu, using the pulp Cthulhu rules. And as I think I mentioned last time we played, the one thing I knew about Call of Cthulhu is that reading books and doing magic is always a bad idea. So I made an academic who wants to do magic.
Great.
As you do.
And you
Smart.
definitely finished the last episode receiving a vision of a horse getting eaten by what I can assume is an ooze. So, it started well. It started well. But yeah.
And so it begins. Yes. Alrighty, and that brings us
Oh,
around
sorry, I should probably say that's for the RPG at Home channel. Apparently that,
Alrighty, so yeah, that brings us around to me. I'm Michel Valcourt, the GM and storyteller for these fantastic folks. Thank you very much for joining us. You can catch up with me after the show. Tomorrow morning, I'll be doing my GM-friendly game design, etc., 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 etc. What are you people doing? Oh, okay, sorry. Just arguing in chat was distracting me. I had it typed in everything. Getting to fight over the buttons. Stop it, you two. So yes, you can catch up with me, 902PE Gaming, on Twitch tomorrow morning, where I'm going to be talking about this game as well as the others I run. I do a campaign journal, talk about design. I think tomorrow morning, map design is going to include if you're into cyberpunky stuff these days, probably going to be building a map of a data fortress for an upcoming game. You can also catch up with I'm a published novelist. You can catch up with me on Amazon. Link is in the Streamlabs description thing over there. There. And yeah, if you got any questions, also catch up with me on Twitter, MichelV69. That's it for this week. Thank you very much for joining us. Unlawful Disorder. We are Lost Worlds Archive, trying to bring cool stories that focus on characters and setting and all the good stuff. The bashy stuff we try to keep to a minimum, but every once in a while you just got to hit something with a stick, right? So there will be more stick hitting next week, and then we'll get back to the trying to be puzzled and not figure out what the hell's going on.
Tune in to find out who gets to hold the stick.
Exactly. So yeah, if you're catching this on the VOD later on, thank you very much. If you are if you haven't already considered following us, please do so. It's a huge help to us, and it helps other people who enjoy similar stuff to you find us. As always, we're open to feedback. Let us know what we're doing well. Let us know what we could do better. We're still growing from a technical perspective. There's some little odds and sods we're still ironing out, but it's getting better every stream, I think. But that's us for this week. We will catch you in a week's time. We're on for next week. Everyone's available next week, yeah? Yeah. Okay, cool.
I
I'm
believe so.
always available because I make time.
Okay.
Make time.
We're looking for his
Chronomancer
construct.
Chantel.
I create it. Therefore, I'm always available.
Exude?
I don't exude time. That
Try
sounds
not to
sweaty.
try
That
not to
does, yeah.
extrude time. That it gets stringy.
Mm.
All right, we're done, folks. Cheers. Bye-bye.